Hey guys, and welcome once again to the beautiful madness of Total War Warhammer. I'm a Rubber Duck of War, and we're going to be delving in to a really awesome clan war here today. So, for those who don't know, I am one of the casters for the Clan War Cup, which is a really awesome event hosted by RTK's very own Vicious Satsuma, the most vicious of all fruits. And it's a big fun event. I'm casting one of the groups, which does involve XMT, EB, CB, and XMT2. So, quite a lot of mouthfuls just there for you. And we've already done one Clan War Cup replay so far, and that was between XMT's first team up against EB there, or EC, sorry, but we are now up against XMT's second team versus CB. So this is XMT2 versus CB. Hopefully that isn't too confusing for you guys. We're going to be coming in with some awesome games. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 1v1s, 3 2v2s, and 1 3v3. Now the way this is going to work is each 1v1 is going to be worth 1 point. Each 2v2 is going to be worth 2 points, and you guessed it, the 3v3 is worth 3 points. So there's a big emphasis on teamwork and those later games in the tournament. We're actually doing all the 1v1s first, delving into the 2v2s, and then moving on to the final 3v3. I'm very excited to hop in. We'll have to see if XMT Team 2 can follow in the footsteps of the first XMT team who performed really well in our first game. What's up, Jay Phoenix? What's up, Red Wish? Zypher as well. Hope you guys are all good today, and fingers crossed you can see me. YouTube Studios has been mega buggy. I couldn't upload an image, couldn't do a load of stuff, so hopefully you guys can hear me loud and clear, and I'm very excited to hop into this one. If you guys have any questions about the format, do let me know into the future. We've got many and more Clan Wars to come in these group stages, so I'm pretty excited to hop in there. What's up, Captain Rum Panda? Good evening, Ducky. How is your day going? My day's going pretty good, champ. We're streaming a little bit early today. I am busy this evening, so we're going to be streaming at 4, which is, you know, not prime time. A lot of people are still at work here in the UK, and I'm sure around the world. But I thought, you know what, we're going to get it in anyway, and the stream will then be up, and people can come back and watch it whenever they see fit. But yeah, no, I'm doing all good, champ. I'm still very pumped up from the trailer we saw yesterday with Cafe and Zinch as well, with the glorious Feet Weaver coming in at the end. That was an awesome trailer and really has got me excited. What's up, Charex? How's it going? Hope you're all good as well. What's up, Mr. CJ? Yeah, I don't know if CB actually does stand for Crime Beastmen, but I have heard that before, so I'm not sure if it's a meme or if it is actually their names. But once again, we're going to be going through 6 1v1s, 3 2v2s, and 1 3v3. XMT already 2 up? No, Loopy. XMT2 is a team. So there's Extreme Meme Team 1 and Extreme Meme Team 2. Unfortunately, they found themselves both in the same group. I'm not sure if that is like by design. If you bring 2 teams, you have to have the chance of knocking each other out, or if it was just bad luck. But both their teams are... they've got 2 different teams, Loopy, basically. So let's hop in here. And I believe one of them's called like Extreme Meme Team. The other's like Extreme Tryhards or something. I don't know if that was true, or if they were just joking about that, but for the sake of it, I called the first team XMT1, the second one XMT2, so everyone knows what's playing, basically. But up first, we're going to be seeing Ashra Rael of the Dark Elves and Clan CB, going up against the Grand Duke of Nara, which I believe is Mr. Von Carstein himself, and it is Dark Elves versus Greenskins. Now, this is a pretty interesting fight, actually. I've seen a lot of people picking Dark Elves into this matchup recently, so maybe they know something I don't and how to overwhelm the Greenskin Tides. XMT today will be playing in red, and CB will be playing in green. So let's hop in here and delve into the battle. They signed up as Crime Beastmen. Oh, okay, so it is Crime Beastmen. Also, Loopy, how you doing, bud? Hope you're all good today. I haven't actually seen ODM play yet in this clan war. We're rather excited to see how you guys are doing. But anyway, for the forces of the Dark Elves, we do have double Dark Riders on the left-hand side and double Dark Riders on the right-hand side. And sandwiched between them, we have a load of the basic ones with shields. So a nice, fast, mobile skirmish core to try to counteract the Greenskin skirmish, which is so popular in today's meta. We do have some Dread Spears, but for the most part, the main line will be made up of Black Ark Corsairs and Bleak Swords dotted all the way along, spears just covering those flanks, and we have the rather scantily clad Sisters of Singing Doom here in the back, able to rampage their enemies and dish out the pain. We do have double Squadrunner Chariots. It's not really a Dark Elf build without Marathian Squadrunners, and we have both. So 2 Squadron Chariots on the ground, and up in the sky we have the cruel and evil, yet rather lovely as well, Marathi. Coming in with the Wand of Caradon, as well as Soul Sealer. So this standard little toolkit you get from her. I like this build quite a bit. Very fast moving and mobile, but still has some punch in the infantry with those regiment around Witch Elves. Now for the forces here of, I believe, Yvonne Cast, I'm just going under a different name, and his Greenskin troops, let's have a little look. Well, it is the traditional Greenskin skirmish that we spoke about. We have the Death Creepers, as well as Goblin Wolf Rider Archers, and Forest Goblin Spider Riders themselves, but no Morgrub's Mangy Marauders, which always makes me sad. They are my favourite of the Greenskin skirmish force. A couple of the combat Spider Riders are just behind them, looking to support where possible. Of course, Grom the Paunch coming in with all of his buffs, and then we have some sneaky Night Goblins hiding in the trees. Apart from that, there's going to be Orc Boys making up the front line. It's good to see the lads out and about, ready for a good old fat scrap. We have Savage Orcs. It looks like a second unit of Savage Orcs, as well as some Trolls in the back, so double Trolls saturated on top of Savage Orcs can be a rather nasty combo. We have 2 units of Savage Orc Araboys, and then we have a Giant River Troll Hag, as well as a Night Goblin Shaman. Vindictive Glare and Spirit Leech spam is the way forward. I must admit, I'm getting some pretty bad PTSD flashbacks to this Greenskin build. Yes, yes, yes. I think maybe it's a clan formed for playing in this. Yes. Yeah, there are a few clans who simply form to play in this event, so we're going to have to see how that goes. But anyway, the Dark Elves are well and truly underway now. Dark Riders are going to be taking it to the tops of the hill. Scourge-Round Chariots shall be pushing back the enemy skirmish cavalry. Now, it may not seem super cost-effective to be shooting into units like Death Creepers with your rather expensive Scourge Runners, but at the end of the day, you need something to deal with them, otherwise they will overwhelm the rather low HP of the Dark Elves. Big Fat Spirit Leech does go down on one of the Scourge Runner Chariots, but they're getting some nice counter trade at the moment, focusing down the Death Creepers, who do actually have regeneration, so it's kind of the worst target to focus. But if you kill models, of course, they're not going to be healing back those models whatsoever, and it looks like the Dark Elves will quite happily probably just sit on this hill and try to win the skirmish game. That's what I would do, at least. And they're really focusing down the Death Creepers quite a lot now. Scourge Runner Chariots actually getting super aggressive, driving back the Greenskin skirmish from once it came, and it looks like Grom is going to be coming with a lovely little counter charge though, catching some of those Scourge Runners. So rather even trade so far. Scourge Runners have taken a bit of punishment and about half health on the Death Creepers as well. Marathi is flying high in the sky. You've always got to be a little bit careful with your Grom when she's around, because she really can butcher him rather quickly, although he does of course have the lucky banner. Spirit Leech goes down on these Scourge Runners. They're going to be driven away. Looks like some of the Dark Riders have been caught here by the Forest Goblin Spider Riders, who are nipping at their heels, poisoning them, slowing them down. Nice little catch there by the Greenies. But again, as we said before, Death Creepers have taken a considerable amount of damage. Savage Orcs, as well as the Orc Boys, are now getting into the main battle line. It looks like the Dark Elves did come down from their high grounds, and this is going to be a mighty scrap in the front. Elite warriors of the Elvish kind have fought for generations up against some Orc Boys, but the Orc Boys, they know how to put on a good scrap. Over on the left-hand side, we can see a rather lovely Soul Stealer is about to go down by Marathi, catching so many units. Oh my god. It is mainly cheap troops, but it is a lot of the skirmish contingent of the Greenskin forces. And now Marathi is going after that Giant River Troll Hag. She may well be doomed there, although Marathi is going to be flying back up to the sky once more. In the main infantry fight, it's going relatively well for the Greenies. They're kind of punching their way through. Sisters of Singing Doom, who would normally do quite well here, being overrun by the arrows of the Savage Orc Araboys, which are raining down from the skies, and that's why you wear armor, lads, to a battlefield. Black Hawk Corsair does charge in onto the flank there of the Savage Orcs, trying to shut them down, but it's a little bit too little too late, as the Trolls already wreaked a deadly havoc. So right side of the battlefield going really well there for the Greenskins. However, on the left-hand side, we do have Scourge Runner Chariots forcing off, it seems, a lot of the Greenskin skirmish, and Marathi is still very healthy, and a lot of the cavalry is now getting down and dirty with each other. Dark Riders with repeat crossbows, though, have unfortunately been caught here. Dark Riders do get that lovely murderous prowess pop, which should hopefully enable them to get through a lot of these Spider Rider archers. We have a wand coming down as well. This is actually quite a crucial fight. Whoever wins this will probably dominate the game, at least mobility-wise. The wand is summoned, and bam, down it comes with the mighty bolt, breaking a lot of the Greenskin forces, and Marathi does now land with a Soul Stealer. War is currently popped, but I don't know if that's going to help Grom too much here. Although it is a slow going down on Marathi, so it looks like the Greenskins want to take this fight. I think that's a mistake. Marathi is disgustingly powerful in duels. Lucky Banner does go down on Grom, though, and that should inspire him to greater feats of heroism. Dark Riders are raining shots into him, and despite having a 40% damage resistance, he does break and start to run for his life. Sisters of Singing Doom, though they were getting annihilated early on, are still fighting and actually pushing now into the heart of the Greenskin forces. A lovely rear charge coming in from the Dark Riders, catching out the Night Goblin Shaman and those Savage Orcs, and this is looking pretty juicy right now for the Dark Elves, I think, if they can ensure that Grom is defeated, because the Giant Ritual Hag is just going to get gobbled up by Marathi here. Dark Riders are firing in as well. I really like this Dark Elf build quite a bit, actually. So the Dark Elves are doing really quite impressive. It looks like they're on the back burner for a little while, on the back ropes, with their infantry kind of getting dumped, but Marathi is coming swinging, assassinating Grom, assassinating the Giant Ritual Hag. There's just one hero left, the Night Goblin Shaman, and he's rather dangerously close to some Scourge Runner chariots. You can see the trolls are being forced back here by the Dread Spears. I think I heard a Vindictive Glare go down there, but it looks like, unfortunately, Night Goblin Shaman did get forced off. Trolls will be retreating, though they should be saved here, hopefully, with the Dread Spears being chased off themselves. But there is a lot of Dark Riders with decent ammunition left, and not that many good targets, apart from the Savage Orcs as well as the Trolls. So these poor Savage Orcs are going to receive quite a few arrows there to the flank, whilst the Bleak Swords try to pin them in place. A little bit of slip up on the micro here, though, as it is going to allow the Orc boys to jump on top of the Dark Riders, but they're so beat up and haggard by this point, I don't think it's going to matter too much, as the mobility core for the Dark Elves were victorious, and they're going to continue pushing. Vindictive Glare does do a bit of a wanted there and kind of whips around onto Marathi. She takes okay damage, but nothing too crazy. Vindictive Glare has been changed slightly, although it should be very good against Marathi. It basically has less armor pierce on the Overcast now. The Night Goblin Shaman has been sent packing, run into the edge of the map there, and it looks like it shall be a first victory for CB there, overrunning the Greenskins. And I must say, though I am neutral, of course, in all of these glorious tournaments and so forth, it's good to see the Greenskins lose. I still have pretty bad PTSD. Oh no, what's going on in chat? Aristodamos arrived. What's up, Aristo, man? You know exactly what's coming. You know what's coming, but I do appreciate the love and the ducks. Hope you're doing well, champ. Hope you're doing well. I am unfortunately going to be putting you on timeout to stop the duck spam. But I hope you're doing good, man. Hope uni is going well for you as well. So many bots spamming emojis. We've got a bot spammer here. Kick him or ban him, please. He's not actually a bot, I'm afraid. He's just an Aristodamos. He's got some pretty funny humour, so just popping in to say hello in a traditional way, and then he kind of comes in and just starts chatting again. What's up, Mr. Ice Power? How's it going, dude? I don't think you're playing in this one. I believe you can't be playing in both XMT teams, if I'm not mistaken. But it looks like the force of CB shall be taking that first game. But before we start changing the scores and all of that stuff, let's check out all the damage dealt and damage value. So Marathi, 71 kills, 1,431 damage value. She probably would have lost, but Ice Power was in chat, so she was emboldened by his power and love, coming in here and basically just killing all of the Greenskin characters, which was such a huge turning point. Greenskins do have Grom now, who's far tankier than before, but still, Greenskins in general, you kill their leaders, you tend to break their armies. Dread Spears and Bleak Swords did okay across the board. Rather interesting to see the Blackguard Corsairs here. They did okay. I mean, 102 kills and 65. They at least cleared a ton of chaff, even if their damage value wasn't absolutely insane. Sisters of Singing Doom really just became pin cushions, unfortunately, for those Savage Orc Arab boys, just eviscerating them. But they still survived into the later stages of the game. Now, the big key moments for this, of course, well, not only was Marathi, but also the Dark Riders helping to support. The Dark Rider repeater crossbows in particular, I very rarely see them actually nowadays. Normally people just go triple Scourge Runner chariots, but they're still very potent and deadly. 491, 1,341, 744, and 686 damage value. Double Scourge Runner chariots doing pretty solid considering they're both basically full health at the end of the game. Just shy of 1,000 damage value and 500. Simply winning the skirmish fight against Greenskins, which is certainly no easy feat. For the Grand Duke here of Nara, we have Grom the Paunch, 741 damage value, but unfortunately he is no match for Mama Marathi. 232 damage value on the Night Goblin Shaman, 788 on the Giant Ritual Hag. Not bad, not bad. The Orc boys kind of suffered, including the Regiment Renown. The Arab boys did a little bit better, again as we said, targeting down the Sisters of Singing Doom. And for the Cavalry, not great. Not great whatsoever. The cavalry really struggled, and likewise did the trolls, and losing that cavalry contingent and that cavalry fight really did end up costing him the game there. But well played to these two champs. Then it's going to be a first point on the board here, so let's add that on, and that is for CB. So, boop, boop, boop. There we go. So CB have taken the advantage here in this clan war, but I believe there's 15 points, or roughly something like 15 points up for grabs, so it is certainly not over yet. As I said at the start of this, we're going to be going through all the 1v1s first, and up next it is going to be the Bald of Bretonnia up against Samurai Warrior. Samurai Warrior, a very talented YouTuber as well, really good content creator, and a cool dude as well. Oh, hey, I kept my ducks. J Phoenix, you're allowed to keep your ducks. You're allowed. What's up, Sebastian? It's just Aristopian Arizona. He just pops in and drops a load of ducks now and again. It's all love. It's all love. It's all good. Go XMT, screams Sebastian, a.k.a. Mr. A-Move Hacker. Yes, a player can only play on one team. Yeah, so the XMT guys are a rather large clan, so they split into 2 teams. I don't know how they did it. I don't know if they were... Actually, I have no idea. I mean, Ice Power's here, so I don't know if he knows how, like, the teams were devised, if it was, like, out of a hat, or just whoever wanted to play with whoever, or whatever. But yeah, the first XMT team, we sorted really well in their first game of the group stage. We're going to have to see if the second ones can indeed follow in their pattern there. Mr. Cat Morgan, how does it go on this Thursday morning? Well, for me, it is... Wait, Thursday morning? Oh, this morning. Oh my god. I was about to say, it's not Thursday. I hope not. It's Wednesday, yeah, afternoon here for me. We're streaming a little bit earlier than usual, just because I'm busy in the evening, but I really wanted to hop in and, yeah, watch these games for you guys. So, but I hope you're all good, Mr. Cat Morgan, aka the god of all ducks. We need to get some fan art of, like, a duck and then just Cat Morgan, like, peering through the clouds. It'd be pretty funny. Samurai Warrior has a YouTube channel. He does indeed. I cannot remember the name because I'm an idiot. I believe it's called Clan Liego. It's an Italian-speaking clan. As a YouTube channel, and he runs it with another person as well. I'll try and find a link, but let's hop into this game first, and we'll do that afterwards. So, Samurai Warrior, he sees his clan in trouble. He's going to be coming back with a vengeance. Who's your money on, lads? Let me know down below. So, boop. Let's hop into this one, and it looks like Samurai Warrior shall be bringing the forces of the Beastmen up against the forces of the Dino Boys. I must admit, CB, with their pick so far, Dark Elves against Greenskins, Lizardmen versus Beastmen, they're really making me want to root for them here with some awesome factions, and we'll have to see how our boy Oxyotl does indeed perform. Of course, he is the Doomslayer of Lizardmen kind. I'm actually really interested to see how Lizardmen players attempt to deal with the Beastmen, because there's a load of different ideas and tactics up in the air at the moment, but I haven't seen a lot of them work, so it's going to be cool to see how this does indeed do. You found it. Perfect. If you can drop a link, Zypher, or send me a link and I'll drop it after this game so we can get you guys going over there and watching some of the lovely Samurai Warrior at work. So for the forces, though, of his opponent here and the Dino Boys, we have Saurus Spears. Looks like some are basically on the flanks and guarding the rear. And then we have Saurus Warriors as well, holding the back and front down. We have Skin Cohorts, 1 unit of Javelins as well. In fact, 2 units of Javelins, 3 units of Javelins. So a rather wide formation all round, coming in, actually outnumbering the Beastmen, which isn't something you'd often say about the force of the Lizardmen, at least in the past. We have double Bastillodon with Solar Engine, still very powerful, and triple Pterodon Rider up in the sky, which can be a little bit risky due to the fact that Harpies and so forth are so good up against them, but I guess you do have the Javelins down low to help support. We have 2 little skinkies in the middle. We have a Skink Priest of Beast coming with Flock of Doom and Manticore Summon. And we have Oxyotl as well, the sneakiest of all skinks and an absolute Chad. Really cool character. Pretty competitive in certain matchups. Not the most competitive Lord for the Dino Boys, but he's certainly up there. And I enjoyed seeing him when we did so much on release, although I haven't seen him that much, at least in recent memory. And he's going to be coming in completely naked, which is probably the best way to bring him, though. He doesn't have Master Predator, I don't think, which is a big mistake. If he needs Master Predator, I'm not sure if it appears on the tooltip or not. For the forces here of Samurai Warrior and the Beastmen, we do have Ungor Spearheads dotted all the way along, which is good to see. Double Manticore up in the sky. We also have 2 Tuskor Chariots down on the low ground, still very powerful, though they have, of course, been nerfed. We have Chaos Warhounds down here on the left-hand side, the Razorgore Herds in the centre, and double Ungor Raiders guard in the back. A Brayshaw in the Wild coming into battle on a chariot with Devolve and Trade to Kin, which work really well together. You can kind of combine them quite nicely. It's cool to see a Jabberslife in action. These guys are gruesome, horrific beasts who remind me of one too many people. But they're going to be bounding it into the enemy and just really helping dish the damage out to those Saurus Warriors with the help of the chariots. And we have our boy, Torx the Brass Bull. We've seen him carry so many games recently, a very powerful competitor, and if only he had a scarf, he would be undefeatable. Destroys the Drakwold shall be his bodyguards, at least for today. Gonna be a fun one. What's up, Christopher? How's it going? I hope you're all good, man, and you've made it just in time for the second game of the stream. So Solar Engines are going to start shooting into the Ferromanticores, a really, really good target, because you may be able to make them rampage and charge into the wrong targets, and that would then free up the Pterodon Riders to dominate the skies, because there's no Harpies whatsoever from this Beastmen force. Solar Engines are unleashing some shots. Tuskor Chariots are still fine at the moment, not really taking too much damage. Manticores being forced back, at least for now, and a load of Javelins are starting to be unleashed into the Ungor Spearheads. Saurus will be taking the charge of the Ungors and then counter-charging with their own ferocity. Load of shots are coming in, now aiming at the Brave Shaman, but still not being super accurate so far, the two little Bastillodons. Torx the Brass Bull has just gone full Leroy Jenkins. He's like, what's up, Oxyotl? You don't have Master Predator. I can spot you, I can see you, and if I can do that, I can crush you. And he's just going straight after Oxyotl, who's not having a good day whatsoever. We do have Saurus Spears here, though, coming for support. A Manticore Summon is going to come down, but my god, the Beastmen Tides are just swarming into the gaps in this Lizardmen force. We do see a miscast going in as an overcasted Traderkin goes down, hitting a bucket ton of units. Torx is now unfortunately surrounded, though, by Saurus Spears as those chariots continue now to dive into the back line. Lovely Flock of Doom counter-punch comes in by the Lizardman player, although it looks like one of the Bastillodons is currently fighting double Manticore, not where he wants to be. The Lizardman Manticore is currently just zooming around, probably going to go after the Jabberlife. It is indeed not a bad target, but I do think finishing off Oxyotl or shutting down the other Solar Engine may be better targets. Ungor Raiders are starting to shoot in, and they will slowly whittle down the Beast Thick Hide. And though there was this big gap, which the Beastmen kind of poured through, the other flank really held super well for the Dino boys. Tuskor's actually being forced back now, and Oxyotl is somehow still alive. So Oxyotl versus the Torx the Brass Bull. Oxyotl will actually win this fight in a vacuum because Torx cannot catch him when he is poisoned, and it looks like that is kind of forming into the case once more. Oxyotl is able to escape. There's a load of Chaos Warhounds running right next to him. If these guys rally and come back in, we could be in big problems for the Dino boys. It looks like Pterodon Riders were committed to the fight against Torx just to put him in place to buy time for Oxyotl to survive and dish out the hurt back. We do see yet another Traderkin going down, catching a ton of the Lizardmen forces. Bastillodon Solar Engine is still alive. It's actually been able to tank a decent amount of Ungor Raider pressure, and now the Saurus War is starting to push into the back line. A load of the expensive Beastmen troops are currently running for their lives. They should be able to come back and fight another day. Torx is just being kited. He's trying to hold his arms up near his head to protect and shield himself, but he takes a big slap there from the Bastillodon. It looks like Oxyotl is going to get surrounded by the Chaos Warhounds, and the Jabberlife is also on the hunt, but some skink cohorts going to be trying to come in to save the slipperiest of all skinks. He's fighting side by side now by his Solar Engine. It may be enough, though, because it looks like the Chaos Warhounds are actually getting forced off now, and that Ferromanticore is losing its fight to the Bastillodon due to the fact it is continuously being poisoned, and it looks like the Dino boys just about clinging on to power here and taking advantage in this game due to the fact Torx is about to go down. Pterodon Riders consistently pressuring him. He's trying to flee back, but I don't know if there's anywhere for him to go. Just 740 HP. He could easily be shot now in the rear by this Bastillodon. There is a Ferromanticore still afoot, though, and it is going to be coming in for the assassination attempt on the Bastillodon with his homie Torx the Brass Bull. One of the Beastmen Manticores, I should say, has now completely rampaged, charging to the rear, though, of the Solar Engine, which is a fantastic target anyway, so it is a good one to finish off. Chaos Warhounds are bounding back to the battlefield. Oxyotl is terrified and fleeing for his life. At the same time, his nemesis, Torx the Brass Bull, is heading in the different direction. Very close game so far. We're going to see a big fat... No, it's not a Traderkin, it's a Flock of Doom. That could be massive. Look at all these Ungor Raiders and Warhounds starting to run for their life. Now, the Ungor Raiders are still both online, consistently just raining in shots, but there's a lot of Saurus left. Like, a lot. Saurus Spearmen, a load of Saurus as well. This is looking, I think, a little rough for the Beastmen. Torx the Brass Bull is not coming back. There's not much saving him, and just as I say that, there may be a chance to save him here with the Razorgore herds coming in, but I feel like the Pterodons are just going to finish him off. He only has 300 HP, and it looks like they are currently on the prowl with decent ammunition remaining. Javaslif is trying its best up against all this infantry, but of course the spearmen are going to be rather naughty. Oxyotl did manage to actually survive here. Ferroman's Core does dive down, looking to finish off this Bastiladon for good. Minus 23 leadership, yeah, that is one scared Bastiladon. Only 250 HP. It's probably actually going to go down here, or at least shatter. But 38 spearmen, 66 spearmen, and 75? Do the Beastmen have enough cunning about them to win that? I'm not so sure. I mean, we have the double Ungor Raiders, who can obviously certainly do some damage. Torque's Brass Ball is about to be forced off the battlefield. And once that happens, we're going to see a big negative to the leadership of the Beastmen forces. There is a Brave Shaman of Wild who can kind of try to rally the troops where possible. Maybe 1 or 2 Traitor Kings going down might help whittle down the numbers of the Saurus Warriors, but there is so much infantry left. We do have the Jabberslif and the Manticore, so if they can take away these key units for the Lizardmen, maybe they can force a terror out, because you can see a lot of the Lizardmen leadership is just dying. Oxyotl is hidden right now. 1 leadership, so he's so close to breaking just by being on the battlefield right now, and the Skink Priest has been forced back. Brave Shaman is taking a little bit of friendly fire there from the Ungors. He won't be too happy about that whatsoever. Jagged Dagger does go down to try to increase his winds of magic. If only he could spot Oxyotl, it'd be a great time to actually run him down and finish him off for good. Javaslife's doing fine up against the Solar Engine, and Torx has come back! What on earth happened here? How did Torx come back? He's like, I fooled you, you can't catch me now. But there is no way he's going to survive this battle, like 0 chance. The Bastiladon is taking massive damage. Torx gets in there with some pretty big hits. Leaving him alive may cost this game here for the Dino Boys, but the Priest rallied and then summons a Ferroman's Core. That is massive. It can be used to just kill the Javaslif. Pterodons can kill Taurox, and 1 Manticore, yeah, it's not going to cut it in the late game. Javaslif has dived amongst the infantry, doing some good work, plus a Traitor King going down. Unfortunately, using up that last bit of magic does shatter the Brave Shaman, and that Ferroman's Core, saving itself for the later stages of the game, really was the end nail in the coffin for the Beastmen, although despite that, I think they just had too many Saurus left on the battlefield. But well played to these champs, and it looks like CB going to be taking a dominant lead here with the 2-0. But again, there's 15 points, and 2v2s and 3v3s are worth so much more than 1v1s that the early stages aren't obviously going to be the determining factor. What's up, everyone? What's up, what's up, what's up? Does Torx heal? No, Torx does not heal. This is XMT. XMT have 2 clans in this tournament. No, they have 2 different clans here. Yes. There's XMT, which is one team, and another one with a different name. They are in the same group, but they cannot play on the same teams, of course. But yes, Sister Clans and stuff can play, I believe, as long as you don't play in both clans. Otherwise, of course, like DBD wouldn't be able to play, right? Because they're sister clans with XMT and so forth. Anyway, well played here to Debold of Bretonnia, picking up a really solid display there, and making the old ones proud. I thought he was in a really rough situation. Samurai Warrior was kind of running him over. He really delved into that back line to shut down the key targets, but a big mistake is using Taurox to go after Oxyotl. He simply cannot catch the slippery little boy, so he needed help there. I think the Warhound's whipping around the flanks maybe, because he was in a pretty dominant position. But Debold fought back hard. Well played, champ. You earned the points there for CB. Oxyotl got 1,000 damage value, not too shabby whatsoever. Only 219 though on the Skink Priest of Beasts. And the Saurus Warriors across the board, let's have a little look. Not, you know, amazing stuff, but not terrible by any stretch of the imagination. 778 damage value, 800, 283, 734. Pretty solid work there across the board with the Saurus Boyos, and Saurus in general is such a solid mid-tier troop. Pterodon Riders did okay up in the sky. Their main thing here was to chase off enemy routing troops, and the Double Bastiladon did pretty solid. 900 damage value and 1,200. For the forces of Samurai Warrior, I do like his build quite a bit. It's basically super meta stuff here, with the Double Manticore and the Tuskor Chariots. The Javaslif as well is an interesting inclusion. It really can whittle down some of that tough Lizardmen infantry, and it did a solid job. I mean, 124 kills, 1,447 damage value, over 11k damage dealt, put up a pretty solid performance, and the Manticores did alright. 635 damage value, not shabby whatsoever. The other one, 1,128 gold. The Chaos Warhounds didn't do too much, unfortunately. The Tuskor Chariots as well. A lot of the people are actually getting quite countered now with the Chariots. They're still very powerful, but you have to look out with them getting pinned in place, because they're nowhere near as durable as when their hitboxes, of course, weren't functioning properly. 450 and 269 damage on the Ungor Raiders, just couldn't get on top of those key targets for long durations. The Shaman did good, 1,412 damage value, 1,475 on Torux the Brass Bull. Pretty good kills across the board, 51 and 102. Nice work there by Samurai Warrior. Again, Clan Liago, I believe, is his YouTube channel. And it's an Italian one. He runs it with a friend. Definitely go check it out. But it is 2-0 here to CB. And they're going to be liking that quite a bit. Now, these battles aren't necessarily in order this time, unfortunately, of when they happened. So I don't know if the momentum was on their side at this point or not. But having momentum in these type of Clan War events really does take the pressure off players playing in the later stages of the game. So well played to those guys. Up next, we'll be hopping in against Hydra Dominatus and Mr. Count Leek. Yes. Weird, I thought... No. I don't think it's disallowed. It's literally just two XMT teams. Yeah, they've got Extreme Meme Team and Extreme Meta Tryhards are the two names. This is Extreme Meme Team. I'm not bothering with the change in the names. It's just Extreme Meme Team 1, Extreme Meme Team 2 for me. I guess their players are just too excited to play. Ba-dum-dum. I love it, Aristo. I love it. Yeah, it's just... You know, they've got too many players, so they've just entered two teams, that's fine. They're both in the same group, though. They are both in the same group, which is kind of a big hindrance to them, obviously, because they're basically going to be forced to knock each other out. They will be forced to. But guys, we will be moving on to Game 3 here. Hydra Dominatus looking to keep up that momentum up against XMT here with the 2-0 lead for CB so far. And go up against Count Leek. I've played a few times before, I believe, in the past. I think he likes his Dino Boys. So let's hop in here and see what faction he has brought. And I'm going to have a little sip of my drink. It looks like it is more Lizardmen here. Against Skaven, though, which is a pretty horrible matchup for the Dino Boys. So we're going to have to see how this does work out. I wonder how the pick and ban system was sorted here. I guess by the clan heads, they were just like, hey, you know, we'll put up this faction, and they try to sort it out as even matchups as possible. But yeah, this is a really good matchup for Skaven, at least historically. Lizardmen, of course, can beat anyone on their day, and it looks like a pretty solid build. It's very wide, although there's the dreaded tic-tac-toe up in the skies. I've said a lot about tic-tac-toe in the past. I actually have a video about him probably coming out relatively soon. A lot of people think I'm too harsh on tic-tac-toe, but we'll have to hop out and see. So, in the back, we have Wolf Rats and Night Runners. It looks like they were just waiting for any Vanguarded troops that would be deployed. Just waiting in the wings. A lot of tournament players are doing this right now. It's very frustrating as someone who likes the Vanguard troops, but it is very clever as well. Just, you know, waiting in the corners to see if something is deployed there. We have Rat Ogres. We also have Warlock Giselles. A very spread out build here by the Skaven. I like it quite a bit. There's no single focus point of where you need to shut down. You need to shut down so many different troops. So, double Warp Lightning Cannons, in one of which is Itix Zap Zap. Double Warlock Giselles as well. No regiment renowned there. A load of cheap and cheerful chaff from the front. Skaven Slaves, Clan Rats, the standard and usual stuff for the forces of Skaven, backed up by double Poison Wind Globadier. We have Lord Skrog, probably still the most competitive Skaven Lord. They've got a few decent ones, and it does depend on the matchup slightly, but he's got coming in here with the Liber Bubonicus and Rod of Corruption, Pestilent Birth, and Vermin Tide, so he's going to be quite a powerful beastie. For the forces here of Count Leek and the Dino Boys, we do have Skink Skirmishers, 2 units there over on the right-hand side, and a bucket ton of Skinks. We have Skink Cohorts, 3 on this left-hand flank, a load of red-crested Skinks dotted all the way along, and some more Skink Cohorts on the right, including the Regiment of Renown. We do have a Feral Stego here, so maybe a little bit of a punch on this side, pitting a load of expensive units in one go. We have a Skink Priest of Heavens coming with Wind Blast, Skink Priest of Beast with a Manticore Summon, and the Feral Stego. There's one in the centre, and then we have triple Croxagores, which certainly can bring the pain. And then we have Tic-Tac-Toe up in the skies. Now, Tic-Tac-Toe hits like a damp lettuce against a brick wall. He won't do much damage, but at the same time, he is very, very fast and quite hard to catch. Comes in with Master of the Skies and the Drop Sphere of Teapot, which is a nice little rock drop. He's not super expensive, he's very fast, and there's basically nothing on the Skaven roster which can kill him if he doesn't want to be killed. You can just hide him in the corner of the map, and it means you've got a cheap Lord who isn't going to kind of throw the battle by dying early either. So, you know, he has his pros and he has his cons. Yes, yes. Is Killaruno playing on this one? I'm not sure who is on the different teams here. The picks are random? Oh, God. That's going to be unfortunate for some teams, I think. I don't know why they don't do the clan heads kind of pick and ban or something, but it is what it is. But anyway, the Warp Lightning Cannon is starting to unleash hell. Kroxigor are an interesting choice in this matchup. I do use them myself sometimes. I do feel like they get really hard punished on the approach, and they can saturate well onto the requisite skinks. I mean, if your opponent is shooting them, they're not shooting the feral stegodons. We're going to have to see that if the Kroxigor can keep up their momentum. They have pretty crappy melee attack and melee defense stats, but that won't really match up against the low-tier chaff of the Skaven forces. You can even push them all the way through and hop on top of the Globadiers and the Giselles and other such troops. Skinks are floating around the right-hand side, driving away the Rat Ogres at the moment. Tic-Tac-Toe is Master of the Skies at the moment, and I mean, he can dive down the Warp Lightning Cannon crews, and that's basically his job. Kill artillery pieces, duel a wizard for half a decade, any of that kind of stuff is where he shines. Feral Stegodon is hiding behind the shot blocker. Good play here by Count Leek as he does continue to approach, but you can see his Kroxigors are being eviscerated. Good focus fire coming down here by the Warlock Giselles, and it's zap zap. Those Kroxigor not even going to make it to the front line. Pitfires of Hell's Deep do push out with the Wolf Rats overwhelming one unit skink cohorts, and now in a prime position to rear charge a lot of this Dino infantry. We are going to see a summon of Plague Monks trying to hold back the tide because Kroxigors and Feral Stegodons and Red Crested Skinks have all busted through. Kroxigor as well also have indeed hopped on top of the Poison Wing Globadiers and are driving themselves even harder onto the Warplock Giselle. So good pressure so far by the Dinos in that middle portion of the battlefield. And the Feral Stegodon is taking a little bit of damage on the approach from the Warp Lightning Cannon, but should be able to make it to the battlefield. Skink Skirmishers are trying to kite Rat Ogres as well as Wolf Rats. That's not going to go very well for the Lizardmen whatsoever. Tic-Tac-Toe is starting to prowl and dive. Poison Wing Globadiers have been forced off. And on this far side, Lord Skrog did manage to escape here. He was being hounded by the Feral Stegodons, but it looks like a multitude of summons has freed him up to try to run to the safety of this left-hand flank where he has the Pit Fighters, he has Wolf Rats, he has Night Runners, and I think that's a really good play by the Skaven. Now, if you're the Dino Boys, you can either capitalize and destroy this right-hand flank, or you have to continue that real thankless job of pushing into the enemy battle line. Kroxigor have been pinned in by the summon of Plague Monks and are now taking huge amounts of damage. I do hear a Ferromanticore being birthed into the world of existence and is now up in the sky. Probably going to try to finish off the Rat Ogres, I would assume, and help support where possible as he does dive down there into combat. Tic-Tac-Toe's doing what Tic-Tac-Toe does, and he's chased off some troops. Looks like he's harassed the Warp Lightning Cannon, but 2 artillery pieces do remain. Kroxigors are going to be moving uphill now to try to finish those guys off. We do have Requested Skinks return to the battlefield, looking to shut down Itic Zap Zap as well as the Warlock Giselles, but the Skaven player has indeed noticed this. Clan Rat's going to be counter-charging, and the crewmen are actually going to drop their artillery pieces. This is some good top tier play, guys. If your artillery piece is about to be overrun, drop it and leg it. Run for your lives, run with your Giselles here, and pin the enemy in with a load of chaff, bring Lord Stroke over, win the day, and then you can whip these Itic Zap Zap cannon crew back on their artillery pieces and slaughter the enemy. We're even going to see a lovely summon coming in behind the Red Crested Skinks, should help secure this right-hand flank as a firebase once more for the forces of Skaven. Left-hand side is very messy, though. We still have Kroxigor alive. One of the Feral Stegodons is very healthy right now, and it looks like the Rat Ogres do get continuously forced back. Ferromanticore's trying to sell heart out. He is a Rampager now, and he's going to be going after the Warp Lightning crew, which has already kind of been destroyed here by the Kroxigor. They do not like machines, so they smash machine, and they've done a pretty good job in that aspect. Skink Skirmishers are somehow still alive, despite being pursued early on by Rat Ogres, and they're countering the Night Runners relatively well. They've got 84 models up against 55, so they're going to be absolutely fine here, I would think, particularly with Cohort of Sotek in nearby support. Pitfires of Hell's Deep are continuously fighting. They're going up against the Kroxigors right now. With that Berserk trait, they'll do an absolute swell job, beating down the Kroxigor rather easily, who are currently rampaging and charging into them. And there's going to be a bit of a lull in the battle here as the Lizardmen clear up this right-hand flank. Balance power is slightly in favour of the Skaven, and I would certainly agree with it. The Stegodon's rampaging, it does actually get hit by Cold-Blooded there, but there's still so much long-range power. We have 3 cannons still online with Itic Zap Zap and a Warlock Giselle. That Feral Stegodon isn't making it to the front line. It doesn't really stand much of a chance unless it falls all the way back and the rest of the Lizardmen forces push forward, but there isn't that much force left. Kroxigor are going to chase off the Warp Lightning Cannon crew. It looks like Rat Ogres are about to be jumped by a load of dinosaurs, including the Master of the Skies himself. And yeah, the Rat Ogres, they're wavering, they're very tired, and they're probably not going to make it out of here. Feral Stegodon is being focused down I agree with this. There's no reason to shoot tic-tac-toe here. Just shoot the big dinosaurs. They're what's going to bring the pain and that terror in the later stages of the game. We do see a Feromanticore summon moving in to snipe out one of the artillery pieces or Lord Skroak. Wouldn't be a bad idea. I'd probably go after Lord Skroak and pray the Skink cohorts make it to Itic Zap Zap before the Skaven player realises he has a load of troops just waiting around, which can be brought back here and defending. It seems like it may be a little bit too little too late with that Manticore summon though, as one Stegodon goes down. The other one as well is about to receive the blessing of the filthy Skaven and is most likely going to be chased off the battlefield there, leaving Tic-Tac-Toe alone and abandoned. Pit Fires of Hell's Deep are still going very, very strong. Looks like the Manticore was indeed hunting down the Warlord Gisele's. Not a bad idea whatsoever, because he may have just punted Lord Skroak, but I think taking that RNG roll was probably the only way back into this game. Try to kill the enemy leadership and save your dinosaurs, so you still have some terror and fear left on the battlefield in the later stages of the game. Balance power is still relatively even, but I can't see this going well for the dinos whatsoever. They just have nothing to kill Lord Skroak right now, apart from this Manticore, which is just surrounded and soon to be disappearing. Skinks do get forced off. Both of these skink cohorts are broken and shattered, in fact. Clan Rat Summon has been birthed into the world. Once again, Itic Zap Zap Cannon Crew ran away from that artillery piece to save their own skins, and now can hop back on it once more in the later stages of the game. Feromanticore is just getting destroyed right now. Actually, it's doing okay damage, but it's still getting poked down by Skaven slaves. Is a bit of a dishonourable way to go. Tic-Tac-Toe is trying to rally his Skink Priest, but I don't see that going super well here, unfortunately. And Crocsgore just going to get popped in the dome by the sniping accuracy of the Warplock Giselles. Who knew Sneaky Little Rattos would be the best snipers in the universe? The Skink Priest is being forced back. We're going to see a lovely little Wind Blast trying to come in by the Skink Priest to save himself, but you can only kill so many rats. There's just too many of them on the battlefield. Tic-Tac-Toe does get hit by a Liber Barbonicus and is now going to get routed off the battlefield. Yet another victory there for CB. Skaven ruling supreme. Really well fought by those lads there. That was a good fun game. The Skaven player did a really solid job of recovering from that left-hand flank, just getting punched in the face so hard with the flank overload by the Dino Boys. But at the end of the day, managing to secure his right-hand flank and then just maneuver the force around so he's taking his enemy head-on once more, just bought him time. Really good protection of the cannons using a mixture of summons, dropping artillery pieces to run away, protecting his Warlord Giselles. It was all so masterfully done there by Hydra Dominatus, who did a really solid job, and I'm very impressed with his performance. Likewise, Count League put up a fantastic scrap, even bringing the mighty Tic-Tac-Toe, who unfortunately did not pay for himself, only 488 damage value. But again, he's not here necessarily to get a super amount of damage value, but here to survive. Yes, picks are blinds. Yeah, picks are blind indeed, which is... yeah, it's good in some ways, so you can get some really fun matchups and so forth. Likewise, you could get some really horrendous like luck on one clan's side and they kind of get dumpstered a bit early, but it is one of the fairest ways to do it, is blind pick. And at the end of the day, you should practice with your faction against every single faction, even ones that they are not good against. In fact, those are the ones you should practice the most. So well played to Mr. Hydra here, coming in with a 792 damage value on Lord Skroak. Still relatively healthy at the end stages of the game as well, and good use of his summons, as we already discussed. Skaven slaves were born to die, likewise were the clan rats, so they were born to die slightly slower, but they all did a pretty solid job. The Night Runners, 360 damage value, 185 and 446. Kind of getting a little bit out skirmished by the Skink skirmishers there. Poison Wing Globadiers, only 166 damage value, and 651 on the second unit is very solid stuff, easily paying for themselves there. Warlord Giselles, 422, and then 1,414. I'm sure you're seeing the pattern here. One side of the battlefield did badly for them, the other side good. You can see, like, this Poison Wing Globadier and this Warlord Giselle got shut down early. The other two survived much longer. Beautiful Wolf Rat play. Just shy of 700 damage value and 729 on the second unit, 190 and 146 kills, chasing down the enemy, but also sneaking out the front line early, overwhelming some Skink cohorts and retreating back. It's really good stuff here. 462 and 741 damage on the Rat Ogres, getting pounded down a little bit by the Stegodons, but the Pitfires did a really good job. And once again, the two cannons are a tale of two different stories. 419 damage value isn't great on the first one, however, Itic Zap Zap, 1,520 damage value, over 10k damage dealt and 36 kills. For Count League, Tic-Tac-Toe, 25 kills, 488 damage value, not the best display by the boy there, and the Skink Priest also kind of just got dumpstered, although the Manticore summons were quite nice. The skink cohorts really did struggle across the board, none of them getting anywhere near their value, and the red-crested skinks likewise struggled. The cohort of Sotek being the best, but still then only 500 damage value. The skink skirmishers, they did a good job out skirmishing the enemy, but that's not going to get you much value. Croc score kind of got pounded down, one of them only getting 4 damage value. This unit being the shining beacon of light there for the Lizardmen, 1012 damage value. Stegodons doing okay, pushing into enemy back line, doing good harass, but unfortunately getting destroyed there. So, well played. CB will be going up. I believe that's 3-0 now in this clan war, which is really awesome stuff by them. But remember, guys, the 2v2s are worth 2 points, 3v3 is worth 3 points, so plenty of points left on the table for Extreme Meme Team, team number 2, to come back into this. So let's see who's going to be playing in the next one. We'll take a little break just to chat with you guys. So we still have 1, 2, 3 1v1s left. And it shall be the Phoenix King up against Lord Lever. I've played both these guys before on quick bouts and stuff. Neck but too broke to bribe breath, so my blind pick wasn't good. Oh no! What happened with your blind picks? Go CB, screams George. Nice to see you here, supporting champ. Nice to see you here. Charge bonus. Oh, for CB. I think it's meant to be crying Beastmen, Caligar. Quack Moo! What's up, Torx the Brass Bull? You did miss a Torx game early on, though you may not want to have seen it, as it was a little bit bad for Mr. Torx himself. So I just need to check my dressing on my foot. I had an operation a couple of weeks ago, and it's randomly hurting. I think I keep bashing it accidentally because I'm a bit of a clumsy duck. But it seems to be okay. Just a bit painful, but we're all good. We're all good. Squeak, squeak! Who are XMT2? They are the second Extreme Meme Team in this clan war. We have Extreme Tryhards and Extreme Meme Team as the 2 teams. On the Extreme Meta Tryhards, so still XMT, and then Extreme Meme Team. So this is, basically they've got such a big clan, they split into 2 teams. This is Extreme Meme Team, so team number 2. They're both in the same group, so we are eventually, on this channel, being to cast an Extreme Meme Team versus Extreme Meme Team 2, which is going to be absolutely hilarious stuff. And I'm excited to see that. So, off the top of my head, I'm 99% sure Phoenix King's going to be playing High Elves. They're his main faction. Lord Lever, I'm less sure. If Torx lost, it was an illusion, yes. Probably some kind of tricksy trap. For next time, consider taking a loan on Harken Trust and Funding. We also discount on mod admin bribing. I love that. I assume you get paid in lizard trinkets. So let's hop into the next game. The Phoenix King versus Lord Lever. XMT on the back foot right now, so they do need to start swinging back. And it is going to be the High Elves. Oh my god. Do you guys see that High Elf build? That is insane. Up against Lord Lever here and the Greenskins. So 2 pretty swaggy builds coming in. I'm very worried about this High Elf build. Like, very, very worried. He has 378 troops. What is this? What is this battle? Greenskins only 840. Elite versus Elite. And oh no! This is a disaster! So, for the force of the Greenskins, let's delve into this. This is going to be an absolute insane battle. I have no idea how this is going to go. So we have double Goblin Wolf Chariots down here on the flank. No one cares about them. No one cares about 90% of this build. I mean, it's Orc Boys, it's Goblins. All cool, standard, usual stuff. Some Orc Biggins in the back to 8-peak Loons and Black Orcs. But we all care about this boy right here. We have the Biggin, the Regiment of Renown Rogue Idol, who has some ridiculously cool animations. Kobe a rock there towards the rather expensive Sword Masters of Hoeth. We have Night Goblin Shaman with Vindictive Glare and Itchy Nuisance. We do have a Goblin Big Boss with Sneaky Stabbing and Grom the Paunch, but this is the centerpiece we're all after. Phoenix King really is embodying the Extreme Meme Team motto here, coming in with triple gold chevroned Sword Masters of Hoeth. Absolute madness stuff. I don't know how much these guys cost. I mean, they'll kill all the Greenskin infantry, but Skirmish Cav would normally put these guys in an absolute trash can. We do have double Illyrian Reavers. We have 1 unit of Shadow Warriors, which is indeed the grey here, so coming in with the Regiment of Renown, with their rather bleak, yet pretty cool colour scheme, I would say. The grey certainly does suit them. They actually have the ability Loic's Shroud as well, which sounds very Wood Elfy. We have a Lord Master of Hoeth with Earthblood and Wildsom's Wild Form, an Archmage of Metal with Final Transmutation, and the Frostheart Phoenix, again, triple gold chevron. In the distance, we have some Night Goblin Fanatics in a deep Vanguard. I don't know if they're going to make it to the battle, because this is going to be fast and furious one way or the other. This is madness. This is madness. ball-in high elf build. Here we go to Biggin. I don't think he even spent all his money. This is just madness. This is madness. Which version of XMT is Ice Power and Falconin? The other one. So they're in extreme meta tryhards. They have already played their first game in this group stage. They're in. It's on my channel actually. Maybe like a week or two ago. You can go check that out. It was really quite an impressive game. The Frostheart Phoenix does dive directly onto Debiggen, which is actually not the worst idea in the world because Debiggen's stats will be getting nuked. So hopefully the Frostheart Phoenix will be able to survive. It's a weird fight already. I have no idea what's going on here. This is insane stuff. So the big one is slapping up the Frostheart Phoenix. Grom the Paunch is moving forward. The Morgrub's Mage Marauders are pulling back at the moment. Reavers as well are just kind of dancing around the battlefield, at least for now. The Grey are starting to rain shots in. Looks like they're going after that Night Goblin Shaman, maybe. And the Archmage now can float over. So the Grey is here. Axe of Grom is going down on the Biggin. Or the Grey is here has gone down him. Sorry, Axe of Grom does go down on Grom. Frostheart Phoenix was actually doing pretty solid in this duel. And it looks like the whole idea was a bait. Dragging the opponent's single entities and hit them with a final transmutation. Overcast here as well, doing some pretty nice damage. Reavers are going to charge in, but my god, the Biggin has really thumped the Frostheart Phoenix quite a bit here, down to just 2,200 HP. The Grey just continued to shoot characters, almost using them like Way Watchers, which is an interesting use of them. Reavers just getting pinged apart by Goblin Wolf Chariots here, and it looks like a big, fat, juicy, itchy nuisance does go down on all the Swordmasters, who are now engaged in hand-to-hand combat. So if we zoom through here, we should get to see some pretty cool attack animations coming in. But look at the big beastie, just clapping cheeks. Clapping Elvish cheeks here. We also have the Fanatics, the 8-peak loons. That's going to get so much value. Slaughtering Swordmasters who are kind of being buffed up here by an Earthblood. Frostheart Phoenix vibing in the sky. Reaver's doing a good job just clearing up units on the periphery, but they're nothing too expensive, to be honest. Archmage gets hit here by a They Need Stabbing, take a considerable amount of damage right now. The Grey continue to pour fire in, this time aiming at the Morgrub's Mangy Marauder. Not bad targets whatsoever. Now, the Swordmasters should deal quite comfortably with the Blackhawks, you would think, due to the fact they are triple gold chevron. But the Biggin being in here is a big, big problem because he's just slapping around, disrupting all their troops, buying time for Grom to cycle charge in and help finish off a lot of these boys. The Grey are moving up again, trying to aim for the Night Goblin Shaman. I mean, shooting Grom wouldn't be the worst idea. He is very low right now. Frostheart Phoenix and Archmage going for the assassination attempt. Frostheart is very danger low HP-wise here, but he is waddling and pushing his way through. And dueling Grom isn't going to be the worst idea in the book. However, the Grey are about to be dumpstered. Swordmasters are actually getting the intercept, which isn't bad. The War goes down. Debiggen with the War active. A whopping 859 weapon strength is trying to club the Archmage to death. Fanatics swing through the lines of the Swordmasters at Hoeth, doing big damage. It looks like the Frostheart Phoenix may also be starting to bite the bullet. Morgrubs have a load of ammo, and they're just going to help finish off the big bird itself. No regeneration or rebirth for you. You're not a Flames Heart. The Grom the Paunch, a well-placed Degrayton, is here to buff up his attack as he duels the Archmage. Looks like Grom may indeed go down here. The Grey are certainly no slouches in combat, and the Goblin Wolf Chariots are moving in to try to save Grom right now. But we are going to be getting a... Oh no, it's an itchy nuisance go down. I thought we were about to see a final transmutation, so Grom may well survive this as the Goblin Big Boss comes in to snipe the Archmage of Metal. Swordmasters are getting very low in the middle. You can see they've butchered the Blackhawks, but the Biggin really has been a big MVP right now. Frostheart Phoenix is taking a ton of damage. It looks like the Morgrub Mangy Marauders will be able to rip out its hide, or have its hide planted on their wall tonight. I didn't see any way back in this for the Force of the High Elves. It certainly was a meme build, it certainly was a Chad build, but I think now that the Wolf Riders will simply run over the Grey. Archmage is running for her life. She realises the power of Gork and Mork is more powerful than any weak Elvish magic, and although she does, she hears my taunts and thinks I'm going to prove that dark guy wrong, pop Armor of Stars and then just shatter. So it looks like Gork and Mork were victorious, and my god, the CB guys are on fire today. Yet another victory, a Pyrrhic victory, but an awesome one nonetheless. If we go to the end stats screen here, I can't go over Phoenix King's build. This was some true peak meme skills here. I absolutely love it. Coming in with triple gold chevron. Swordmasters a Hoeth and a Frostheart Phoenix. An absolute Chad build from Phoenix King. You may have lost the battle, bud, but you won our hearts. 1,236 damage value on the Frostheart. The Reavers didn't do too bad protecting the back line. The Grey did okay, 800 damage value, not too shabby. And the Swordmaster's 1,000 damage value, 1,000 again, and 887. Doing good work, but he did not expect the big one. The big one caused so many problems. 1,797 damage value on the Archmage Metal is relatively solid as well. The big in itself, 3,495 damage value, 11k damage dealt, 93 kills. Jeez, the big and strong in a tournament. The big winning and being victorious. I love to see it. Morgoth's Mage Marauders, 668 damage value. Really good work there. The Chariots as well, cycle charging, 980, 642 damage value. Black Orcs with 1,000. The rest of the infantry did struggle, apart from the 8 Loons who got 1.2k damage value. That's what happens when you take elite infantry against the Gobbos. 1.3 on Grom, though he did get sniped. The other characters not faring quite as well, though. The Goblin Big Boss, 439 damage value is not bad whatsoever for his relatively low cost. Well played to Lord Lever, well played to the Phoenix King. That was a truly spectacular game. I enjoyed it quite a lot. And let's quickly pop over here. And it is 4 points here to CB. A very strong lead right now. And up next, they've got one of their strongest players as well. Looks like Lunacy will be playing Carstein Yes GG, which is an interesting choice of names. I'm assuming that may be a Skaven player. We'll have to wait and see. Triple Swordmaster against Greenskins, what a hero. I agree fully. I agree fully. The Biggin is actually a good pick against this high elf build. Oh, for sure. For sure. All we care about is the Biggin. I knew. As soon as I saw the build, I was like, yes. You don't think he spent all his money? Maybe it was just on the chevrons? The triple gold chevs might have been too much. No. If anything, they were too little. We needed 4 Swordmasters triple gold. Fanatics just delete elite infantry. Yeah, they're so good. They've been heavily nerfed, Fanatics. Having to be engaged in combat for so long before you can pop the Fanatics is a big debuff. But yeah, if you can get that timed right, my god, it can be scary. Lovely little sip of water there. So what do you guys think of that one? Glorious build, says Charix. I agree 100%. JG says Trolls would have been good against this build. Indeed. The Grey could have poked them a little bit. But I think, yeah, they would have just kind of smashed their way through the Swordmasters. Awesome stuff, and you know what? We're going to hop straight on into the next one. Not going to be taking too many breaks in between games here. And this is game number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we've got 10 games for you guys, including 3 2v2s and a 3v3, which of course will be longer battles anyway. So plenty of content still left. And let's do this. Let's do this. Mr. Lunacy shall be bringing Taurox, the Brass Bull, up against Warriors of Chaos and Archaon the Ever-Chosen. So these guys fighting to be the chosen one of the Chaos Gods. Who's it going to be? A big old angry man or a big old angry cow? Only time will tell. And we're actually going to pause this battle, as it looks like it's going to get underway really quickly, as the Model Horse Masters here of the Forces of Chaos are well and truly on top of the Centaurs. So we have some Chaos Warhounds, as well as some Centaurs on this left-hand flank, with Centaurs with throne axes helping to back them up. We have even more Centaurs, Warhounds, a Brave Shaman of Wild coming in, of course, with Brave Scream and Traitorkin. The Brave Scream's quite a nice inclusion here as well. Traitorkin very popular at the moment. Ungors and Ungor Spearheads dotted all the way along for a rather cheap and boisterous front line. More Centaurs on the right-hand side. Centaurs so popular for most Beastmen players. We do have one unit of the best of the Gors, the Bestigors, coming in here with their mighty two-handed cleaving war axes, screaming a battle cry at their enemy, a challenge to the Chaos Gods themselves. We bow before no man. Taurox Brass Bull just enjoying his last moments in the sun here before delving into battle. Coming in with Brass Body, Slaughtercall, and Bloodcreed up in the skies, we have just a single lone Ferromanticore, and that's a very risky choice, because as you can see, there is double Exalted Hero for the Chaos Forces, and a load of Horse Masters, which indeed 4 Horse Masters, which they got pretty decent stats. If they can get the charge on the Centaurs, they won't actually fare badly whatsoever. We have some Chaos Marauders in the front line, backed up by Chaos Marauders with great weapons in the secondary line, and then triple Forsaken, one of which is the Regiment Renowned Demon Spew. This might be a little bit overkill on killing infantry, but hey, I absolutely love overkill. It's certainly underrated. And leading the army, we have Archaon the Ever-Chosen himself, his flaming sword held aloft upon his steed of a horrifying design. Look at him. He looks absolutely scary. Very scary beastie. Coming in here with the Slayer of Kings, Stand or Die, the Burning Head, Cascading Fire Cloak, and Fireball. So pretty awesome build by both these guys. And we're going to have to see if XMT can drag back some points here. So without further ado, let's hop into the battle and get this underway. On the far side, Warhounds and Centaurs instantly going to be darting over those Horsemasters. There is an exotic hero nearby, though, to help support and drive them back. So they need to be a little bit careful. They don't want to overextend. Horsemen do actually countercharge in. And now the Manticore has landed. The Centaurs are fleeing. It looks like the Warhounds may be terrified. They're very close to the edge of the board. If they had broken them, which they very nearly did, they could have actually fled the entire battlefield. Oh no, can they actually get... They actually get terror routed off the battle. That's a disaster for Beastmen early on. An upgraded Traitorkin, though, does catch the majority here of the Chaos build, at least on this right-hand flank, which is pretty good stuff there. Good work by the Brave Shaman of Wild, who's already up here to 55 kills from one cast. Exalted Hero does find himself isolated and alone. This is really scary right now for this hero. He needs to get Archon over here, or the other Exalted Hero, because he's pinned in right now by a Ferromanticore and a load of Centaurs, and he is not trading effectively right now. Oh, sorry, I'm going to call on my phone. Let's just put that down. Brave Shaman of the Wild is going to be charging. A load of Centaurs and Phronactors are coming in nearby to support. This Exalted Hero needs help, like right now. Archon is going to pop a Fireball in, but he needs to pop over here and engage as quickly as possible. Forsaken and Marauders are moving up to engage with the enemy across the battlefield, and the front line's going to go relatively well, you would think, for the Warriors of Chaos, particularly with those Forsaken in here. But this is a disaster on the right. Just losing this Exalted Hero for absolutely no gain is a massive misplay, and it's going to be forced off the battlefield now. Torque's Brassbow hasn't really got involved in the action just yet. He's going to do some pretty big lifting, I think. He's going to have to kill a lot of infantry if the Beastmen forces do want to secure this. They don't have too much infantry potential. Big Fat Juicy Burning Head does roast some of the enemies. Chaos Marauders are being overwhelmed, but wherever the Forsaken are, the Chaos Warriors are shining. Bestigor herds trying their best to stop the Demon Spew right now, but it's been a pretty close fight between those two. We do have Chaos Marauders coming in to support. Centaurs doing some lovely rear charging. Forsaken have managed to catch some of the thrown axes. Exalted Hero going to be trying to finish off this Brave Shaman before it causes even more havoc. It is up to a very impressive 86 kills so far. It looks like we're going to get yet another Traitorkin go down. Catching the Marauders, catching Archaon, catching basically everything of value. And Ferromanticore is being dispatched, though, by Archaon, the Ever-Chosen. But we have to fight our fights. The ultimate duel of destiny. And they're actually... it looks like they're teaming up against the Manticore Lords. So both of them trying to kill their respective Manticores before turning to fight each other. Archaon does indeed kill one Manticore. The Brave Shaman is doing some rather interesting stuff to his homie Taurox right here. And the Exalted Hero is simply no match for the might of Taurox the Brass Bull. Brass Body has indeed been popped. The Exalted Hero has been slaughtered. Centaurs charge into the Forsaken, doing some lovely hit and run tactics so far by the Beastmen player. Grog Hooves of Wolf's Run doing some lovely work as well. We honestly see a Fat Burning Head come down, trying to clear out these Centaurs, and it does some okay damage, but nothing too crazy to be honest. Taurox and the Ever-Chosen are really going toe-to-toe right now. I'm not sure who's going to win this duel. 2,600 HP on one. Archaon does have Cascade and Fire Cloak on him at the moment, but there is Brave Shaman support. Likewise, a load of Chaos Marauders are nearby. Very close hero fight going on in the centre of the battle. It does look like Chaos are slowly starting to win the skirmish game. They've got a load of Horsemasters surrounding Grog Hooves of Wolf's Run, but Centaurs are nearby, and it looks like the Beastmen player knows he needs to win the skirmish phase, and it's going to be charging in with all his thrown axes and his Warhounds. Good play there indeed. In fact, even Torx was pulling himself over, and now once again he shall hunt down the Ever-Chosen, who's trying his best to rid the world of this pesky Brave Shaman. There is an Exalted Hero up in the sky, though he is weakened. He still punches like an absolute truck. A lovely little Brave Scream goes down on the Forsaken, breaking them and the Chaos Marauders. In fact, very tight game. Balance power is currently in favour of Taurox, the Brass Bull, and the Beastmen. Brave Shaman of the Wild is running for its life. 115 kills on that bad boy. Taurox, the Brass Bull, man, is a beast. He's just driving back the Ever-Chosen at every opportunity, but he can't really catch him on that horse. Cascade and Fire Cloak also helping out the Ever-Chosen quite a bit. The Exalted Hero in the sky is probably going to go down here. Thrown axes are charging in. Just chuck him in against Taurox. Get one or two lucky hits, hopefully, and at least do some damage before you part ways from this earth. So that's what he's just about trying to do. Ever-Chosen is fleeing, but I would tell him fight this. Try to take down Taurox with both characters in one go. It is probably the best bet. And it looks like Exalted Hero is going to go in. Hellfire Sword has been popped, which does give him fire damage. Does Taurox have a resistance to fire? No, he just does fire damage, I think. Yeah, he just does fire damage. Archaon does stand alone. It looks like the Chaos Gods have abandoned him in favour of a new champion because the Beastmen are ruling the majority of the battlefield. And Horsemaster can come back on the left-hand side, but they're going to have to smooth up the majority of their ammunition, killing Centaurs and other non-cost-effective units. Archaon, the Ever-Chosen, does pop the Slayer of Kings, and Torox is like, you know what, I'll be right back, lads. I'm just going to take a breather. We'll meet back after half-time, because he does not want to duel the Ever-Chosen with Slayer of Kings popped, because he gets 905 weapon strength, which is, quite frankly, disgusting. Now that Slayer of Kings has come down, Torox is going to be charging in, and does completely miss the Ever-Chosen, but hey, it happens to the best of us. He's now going to turn around, scratch his butt, and start, hopefully, pile driving him with those axes. There we go. And Archaon does start to feel the burn. It looks like he is losing the Jewel of Jewels. Elsewhere, Chaos have just been forced off, and yet another win by CB. They are really dominating so far. Done a fantastic display so far in the clan war, as I just don't think there's any way Archaon can kill Torox. Torox has 900 HP, 764 on the Ever-Chosen. Torox once again goes out to take a breather. We are going to see a Cascade and Fire Cloak go down. Can Archaon find any way here of victory? There's just too many Throne Axes left and units which could cycle charge. If it's just the infantry, maybe. If he killed Torox, then there was a chance. But it looks like Torox is just going to come up to him, stand over top of the Ever-Chosen. Look how daunting this must be. Bam! Axe down. Look at him. He is so horrifically vicious. And it shall be a Pyrrhic victory to the forces of the Beastmen. Awesome game. Well played to these two champs. And yet another victory for CB. What's up, Mr. Henry Brooks? How's it going, champion? Thank you so much, dude, for the $10 donation. It is really appreciated. Have a great stream, Mr. Duck. I will indeed. Hopefully, you enjoy as well. Thank you so much, man. It honestly is really, really appreciated. And you are the true champ of the stream so far, man. Thank you so much. Have a great stream. I will, man. I will. Well played to Lunacy. Very top tier player, Lunacy. Very scary opponent. So Carstein, yes, GG. I think did put up a pretty good fight. That was a very close game, but in the end of the day, what can men do against such reckless Torox play? It's just so goddamn powerful. I think they're both camping. Funny man. They're both charges headlong into each other. Very nice game. A bit too many Forsaken. I agree, Dr. Nick. I agree. I think the Forsaken just isn't needed in this matchup so much. I do like one or two. You can see the Demon Spew did pretty good kills across the board, but it's not the Beastmen infantry you have to worry about. It's their big monsters and their cavalry, which kind of won the day. As we can see, Torox performed really well, just shy of 2,000 damage value, 1.2 on the Brave Shaman of Wild. Ungor Herds did relatively solid across the board. Best scores 983 damage value. I quite like that inclusion, just having one hard-hitting elite infantry unit in your build to try to, subvert expectation a little bit and hopefully break and cleave your way through the Chaos Warrior ranks. Centaurs, not the best damage value, but they did a good job breaking up the enemy troops. That's something they're really good at. The Throne Axes, man, 1.2k damage value and 1,095 on the Regiment Renown. Really good work with the Throne Axes and the Manticore. 663. Now, I think Carstein would have been in a really solid position if he didn't lose one of those exiled heroes right at the start. I mean, the Ever-Chosen, 3,120 damage value, 14k damage dealt. Really good work there. The exiled heroes failing to live up to their master's expectations, though. Only kind of, mid 400 damage value on those boys. Marauders got butchered, basically to the last man. Forsaken did okay, 720 damage value, 949, 496. But nothing too wild. Good play with the Horsemasters all round by Carstein. The Horsemen only 200 damage value, but then 669, 610, and 739 on the Marauder Horsemasters. Good display from them. So, let's quickly update the scoreboard for you guys. CB are up 5-0 now, which is, not 56, 5-0, which is good work by them. But there is 15 points on the board, so only a third of the way through the points so far. Oh, thank you, Zypher, for the message. Yeah, Clan Liago is Samurai Warrior, who was displayed earlier on the channel. It is his... sorry, I received a load of messages. That's absolutely fine. Who was playing today for XMT. I don't know if he's playing one of the later games as well. Let's have a little look. Yes, he is playing one of the 2v2s, which is pretty cool stuff. But we still have one 1v1 left before we move on to the bigger scoring games. I am the Ever-Chosen, Archaon's best joke. I mean, he did get an insane amount of damage value there. But yeah, Torox the Brass Bull is the true Ever-Chosen, at least from now on. We're going to need to see some extremely majestic teamwork, says Christopher. Yeah, but again, guys, 2v2 is worth 2 points, and the 3v3 is worth 3 points. So that's a load of points you can make up right here. So up next, we are going to see, though, Pugnabon versus Pandasma. Pugnabon, very talented player. I don't know too much about Pandasma myself. I'm sure he's very good as well. Pugnabon, pretty damn good with the Dino Boys. Very good with the Wood Elves as well. An all-round absolute champ. So let's have a little bit of my drink to keep my voice alive. And let's hop into this one. So the last of the 1v1s, can XMT strike back before those crucial team games? Oh, I hope you guys are enjoying the stream, by the way. These clan wars are really fun to cast and host and stuff. So obviously we have a load more as well as we are doing the whole group stage. Looks like we're getting more Chaos and more Forsaken action for you guys up against Pugnabon's Tomb Kings, which should be quite interesting. But if you guys are enjoying, feel free to like, feel free to subscribe and all that good standard YouTube-y stuff. But again, no pressure. Just do what makes you happy. So for the forces of Chaos here, we do have a double Marauder Horseman on the right hand side and double on the left as well. No Horsemaster, sadly, and it looks like it's quite a wide rush build, which is such a fun way to play Chaos. They really are a fantastic faction for newer players. If there's any players looking to get into my player, I really recommend learning Chaos. We have 2 Forsaken on the right-hand flank, and sandwiched in between more Forsaken on the far side is a load of cheap and cheerful, probably slightly still hungover, warriors of the Chaos Marauders here, who are quite vicious. Double Forsaken on the far side, we do have an Exalted Hero, as well as Arkham the Ever-Chosen with Slayer of Kings, Burning Head, Fireball, and Cascade and Firecloak once more. Exalted Hero this time is going to be on horseback. We have one on the right-hand side with a Dragon Ogre Shagoff. So you can obviously see the idea, pair these two together, and pair these two together, one each flank, looking to bring the pain to the enemy. For the forces of the Pugnabon himself, we have Skeleton Warriors, so cheap and summoned to be here warriors. In the back, we have Tomb Guard of Halberds. It's a rather defensive box-style approach with Ushopti. So double Ushopti Greatbow, who are currently counter-shooting into the Horsemen. We have double Tomb Scorpion in the centre. We have a Necrotech down on the ground. In fact, 2 Necrotechs standing either side of Foot Archon. What a bro squad. Look at that. Archon the Black coming with Spirit Leech, of course, and his summons. We have a Casket of Souls in the back. So the Tomb Scorpion's going to be trying to kill the infantry, Ushopti, kill any large targets, and Casket of Souls to kill the infantry. I like the build quite a bit. It is rather small though, and the Forsaken Rush may be a bit too much for it. We'll have to wait and see. So Horsemen do whip around the far flanks. I mean, they're just trying to get away from Skeleton Warriors and actually hit some more expensive units. Casket of Souls, what are you aiming at? Probably Forsaken, if I would have to be a betting man. And it looks like we are indeed focusing down on the Forsaken. Really good target there. Try to get them off the field as quickly as possible. Though the Tomb Scorpions won't do bad against them whatsoever. Looks like Skeleton Warriors are once again securing this flank to try to help make a nice tight defensive formation here for the Tomb Kings. The Ushopti Greatbows are now lining up shots, and they are aiming at the Horsemen, which isn't the most value, but they don't have too much else to counter the Horsemen today, so using the Ushopti is a pretty solid target. Tomb Guard are going to be trying to drive back the Horsemen for now, who are trying their best to whittle down the Casket of Souls, but it's going to take them quite a long time to bring down such a majestic construct. Casket fires in this time to the Chaos Marauders, does some huge damage to them. How did those Forsaken fare? Not too bad, actually. I'm surprised they didn't take any more damage. Looks like he is switching his shots. Big Burning Head comes down on the Skeleton Warriors. Nice micro here by Pugnabon to move them forward to try to dodge the Burning Head, but it wasn't overcast, and therefore it can turn in whatever direction it fancies, and that is some real good RNG there. I love it. The Burning Head actually tracked that unit, wiping out 2 units despite the micro there of the Tomb Kings. That is a rough start. The Tomb Scorpions are darting forward, looking to overrun the infantry game. Dragon Ogre Shagoff is trying to hunt down Ushopti now, and the backline is already compromised for the Tomb Kings. Spirit Leech goes down on the Exalted Hero as the Skeleton Warriors try to hold the line. Lovely casket play does pound down those Forsaken, and we do have Skeleton Warriors trying to protect their Ushopti Masters. That was a real rough Burning Head, because look how quickly this box is broken and open. So quickly. Double Tomb Scorpions do manage to beat back all the Marauders in the front line, though, which is really nice work with the help of the Necrotech and Arkham the Black. The Ushopti, though, are really being punished, and there's nothing left to protect the Casket of Souls. Tomb Guard of Halberds need to get back here and try to help support it. Characters are going after the Dragon Ogre Shagoff at the moment, as well as the Forsaken. Archon is trying to withdraw the damage wrought upon him by the Dragon Ogre Shagoff. In the main fight, Tomb Guard aren't doing that bad, actually, up against the Forsaken. I mean, the Forsaken must have been injured beforehand, but they're doing okay, trying to hold the line. We're going to see yet another Burning Head. Unfortunately, it is on a Summon Unit, Skeleton Warriors, so not the best play there, but it will be able to clear up Archaon. And we do have the Shop to Summon coming down here, so Archaon should hopefully be able to flee and escape any of the enemy characters. Exalted Heroes are dispatching you Shop to. You currently have a Restore on them. Castle Souls probably isn't too long for this world, unfortunately, being hunted down by the Exalted Hero and Archaon the Ever-Chosen. Dragon Ogre Shoggoth is just getting his arse absolutely whooped right now. Cascade and Firecloak, though, is trying to keep it alive. Double Tomb Scorpion still going to be a pest for the Chaos to deal with. The Archaon and Exalted Heroes really need to try to focus those bad boys down, isolate them, and pick them apart. Mortal Horsemen are continuously throwing axes in, doing some really good damage here. Tomb Guard with Halberds are looking to surround Archaon, which is a good target, of course, unless you do get a fat burning head to the face. Cossack Soul, still somehow alive, is going to be firing in right now to the Mortal Horsemen, doing some pretty decent work, firing 1 or 2 more shots before the Exalted Heroes do dispatch it for good. Castle Souls will be placed once again where it deserves to be, in the ground. One Tomb Scorpion seems to have received quite a lot of punishment. Horsemen are now throwing axes in, and Dragon Ogre Shoggoth can quite easily beat a Tomb Scorpion 1-on-1. Looks like one Tomb Scorpion may pay the price, but its brother coming in here to try to dish out the pain to the Dragon Ogre, and actually staggers it, but alas, too low. And if you look behind him, you'd see his brother has indeed fallen. Chaos are in the state of advantage here, I'd say quite a bit, actually. I don't know if there's any way that the Tomb Kings can come back into this. And the Dragon Ogre's getting quite low, but so is the Tomb Scorpion. There's a load of throwing axes left, and Archaon's full health right now. Castle does go up in an explosion of ethereal magic. Your Shop tier being shut down. Exiled Heroes are chasing them as well. And over here in the main fight, it looks like that second Tomb Scorpion, despite the restore, does bite the bullet. No, it's still going. It's still going. But there you go. It doth fall. And with that, there is no way the Tomb Kings can break into this, I don't think. You Shop to fire off a last couple of desperate volleys into the main fight. We still have the double Necrotect as well as the leader here, Archaon the Black. But what can Skeleton Boyos do against double Exiled Hero and Archaon? Not too much, I don't think. Dragon Ogre Shoggoth as well is going to be cleaving them apart here, doing some lovely damage. And you can see that the Necrotects are currently feeling the burn. Well played to these two champs. I really do feel the build kind of won the day there from the Force of Chaos. He just managed to swarm so effectively. That burning head was really nasty. And now that both Necrotects are dead, we still have Archaon the Black fighting here. He might be able to kill the Dragon Ogre Shoggoth. We have Skeleton Warriors also saturated on top of him, but yeah, the Horsemen have ammo. Everything's been cleared up on the flanks. Archaon the Black is very close to army losses right now. And that Dragon Ogre Shoggoth's been a champ. I'm surprised it's still alive. Only 8 kills on it so far, but it is up to a very impressive 2,221 damage value. Archaon trying his best. It looks like the Forsaken and so forth are currently being whittled down by Archaon's curse, but he does fall, and a victory there for the Warriors of Chaos. Really good work by those lads there. Oh no, my stream chat was frozen. Apologies. So I can see it once again on my phone. Well played. The Warriors of Chaos shall scream victorious, and yet another victory there for CB. GG's, man. They've been performing super well today. Archaon the Ever-Chosen, 1.2k damage value. Nowhere near as much damage as we saw from him in that game against Taurox and the Beastmen, but he did survive this time and was on the winning side. 15k damage dealt, 127 kills, helped clear out a lot of chaff. Double Exiled Hero Goon Squad with Archaon all on horseback is very powerful. 1.1 damage value and 671. Focus down enemy characters there rather nicely. Morals across the board didn't do too much. Forsaken got some nice kills. 76, 101, 98 and 48. Damage value at 860, 470, 900 and 690. So not bad whatsoever. They just enabled them to really chew through the Tomb King chaff and get on top of the casket, get on top of the Shop T, and start focusing down those more juicy targets. Dragon Ogre Shoggoth got 2,419 damage value. Horsemen did okay across the board, just focusing down key targets in the later stages of the game. Well played to Mr. Parkinbomb though. The Archaon the Black did got 1.2k damage value, but unfortunately did fall. Necrotex, of course, were simply here to heal up the constructs. Infantry did basically nothing. I mean, the Tomb God of Halberds, 700 damage value, 740, 30, that kind of range. Nothing too crazy. Double Tomb Scorpions were pretty cool. 730 and 630 damage value apiece, but you shopped in Cartagena Soul just got shut down way too early, and they simply got overwhelmed and kind of forced down, unfortunately, which is a little bit sad. Cartagena, though, still got 916 damage value, which at the end of the day isn't terrible, but isn't amazing either. But well played to both these lads, and CB will be getting yet another point on the board. So let's update that. Boop. There you go. It is currently 6-0 there to CB, but this is where all the points matter. All the points will be on the board in the 2v2s and 3v3. And it looks like up first we're going to be having the Bald of Bretonnia and Asherai once again against Count Leek, who's also performed today, but a new player as well, the Mighty Way. So you can play in a clan war in each of the different types of games. So 1v1, 2v2, 3v3. You can play in each of them once. So Count Leek, for example, could play in a 1v1 like he did earlier, this 2v2, and even hop into the 3v3 if he so needed to. But, you know, we'll have to wait and see. So before we hop into that, let me quickly double check something on Steam. Is my stream strength still all good? For some reason my chat seems to have, like, frozen. Boom. Cool. Stream strength seems all good. It seems all good. So hopefully you guys can still see me and hear me and everything. It looks like it's fine. For some reason it's like frozen for me on my end. But I think we're all good in the herd. So up next we will have the Bald of Bretonnia and Asherai Ryle against Count Leek and Way. Excited to hop into this one. Roosevelt, Extreme Meme Team 2. Yeah, they have two teams in this Clan War tournament. Extreme Meta Tryhards and Extreme Meme Team. So there's two XMT teams. We cast one a couple of weeks ago in this Clan War, and which is a big kind of event with multiple groups, and it's really quite exciting. There's a load of games going on as we speak, and both the XMT guys are in the same group, and that's the group I am casting. So we get to see a load of Extreme Meme Team action, which is pretty cool, as well as seeing the CB boys in action and seeing what they bring to the battlefield. We have Counts and Bretonnia versus Norsca and Empire. This is going to be an interesting scrap for sure. I mean, healing is very good in 2v2s. So having the Counts and Bretonnia together with so much healing potential could be quite nasty. And looking at the builds, oh my god, I think we have the Soul Crusher. This looks like a really cool build coming in here by the forces of Norsca. But yes. Cool, and we are deployed, so let's pop this into slow-mo and quickly look through the build. So with these 2v2 games, we'll go over the builds a little bit quicker, because obviously a lot going on. For the forces here of CB and the Bretonians, we have Question Knights and Knights of the Realm on this left-hand flank. We have Peasant Mobs dotted all the way through the front line, as well as zombies, so a bucket ton of cheap and cheerful chaff in the front to pin in the enemy and hold them back. We do then have a load of Peasant Archers, a mixture of fire arrows and pox arrows dotted all the way along, backed up by some Grave Guards. So Grave Guard are kind of that, last line of defense. We can push forward if need be to help protect our boyos. We have some Fellbats in the sky for some nice harass, and then Grail Knights combined with Blood Knights. What a deadly combo. Imagine if this happened in lore. Grail Knights fighting side by side by Blood Knights against the enemies of all that is good in the world. That is going to be disgusting. Two anti-large units, one Frenzied, one Living Saints. For the Leadership Corps, we do have a Paladin, of course, with the Fey Enchantress, as expected. Dwellers Below, Earthblood, all the standard stuff from her. And then Double White King on horseback, helping protect not only the Fey, but also Heinrich Kemmler, coming with Invocation of Nahek, Dance Macabre, and it looks like Raised Dead as well. So interesting stuff there, with a Krell summon. For the forces of the Mighty Empire and Norsca, in the front line we have some Spearmen dotted all the way along, backed up by the more elite and hard-hitting Norscan infantry, with Icehorn Marauders with their really cool-looking axes, and a ton of Berserkers. Berserkers really embodying that Viking style of play. More Marauders on the left-hand side. We have Norscan Warhounds holding it down at the back. We have Boris Todbringer kind of bringing this union of Norscan and Empire together. He's up in the sky, supporting the Soul Crusher, which is such a cool model. Look at that icy cold dead eye and the grey shaggy fur. Soul Crusher certainly can be quite fun, coming in with Enrage here, giving it that 40% damage resistance. We do have Hunters with Javelins in the back, Halberds, Frog, as well as some War Wagons. Unfortunately, they're not the Mortar War Wagons, which does hurt my little duck heart a bit, but they are protected by Halberds. With a Witch Hunter just in front of the Berserker line, and that's it for the build. So without further ado, let's hop into here and see what happens. Counts can't heal Bretonnians. I know Counts can't heal Bretonnians, and Bretonnians I don't think can heal Counts, but healing in general is very powerful in 2v2 is what I meant. The almighty IKEA duck has arrived. What's up, Sebastian? How are you doing today, champion? Hope your day's been going pretty good. We are streaming a bit earlier than usual, so this may catch some people off guard, but I'm busy this afternoon and I really wanted to get the stream done today. So, yeah, it's going to be pretty cool stuff. We've also got a stream tomorrow. We've got Death Before Dishonor Season 8 finals, and next week's going to be Season 9 finals, hopefully. So, yeah, really awesome stuff there. So, yeah, interesting stuff to come. But anyway, back to the battle. Peasants are unleashing hell at the moment onto the spearmen, taunting them right now. And I wonder who is the more evil, Empire or Bretonnia, for starting with Counts or Norsca. I feel like the Counts would probably be considered a bit more evil. These guys support Chaos, so yeah, it's all going to be a bit here or there. Fey Enchantress is currently the main focus of attention as the War Wagons try to whittle her down. They do some okay damage, nothing too crazy, and they are forced back. Archers are now starting to focus down. The Marauder Berserkers doing some really good work to them. Boris Todbringer is up in the sky. Berserkers are going to be pushing through the Spearman line, running headlong through. We don't need no spear wall. In we go, lads. They're actually getting kind of stuck in, unfortunately, on their own spear units, which is a bit unfortunate. They should do a decent job there. Spearmen getting roasted there by the White Kings. Berserkers simply getting focus fired down right now by the archers, again destroyed in the front. Karl Franz does decide to land amongst the peasant mobs, trying to remind them, or Boris Todbrun I should say, remind them who is the rightful rulers of mankind. It is the Empire, not the Bretonnians. Or Cathay, maybe, if you think about it. The War Wagons are shooting in to the Blood Knights. Brits can heal Counts. Oh my god, really? That's insane. Why? I don't know why you can heal the undead. That's very odd. War Wagons doing decent damage though into the Blood Knights, whittling them down here. And this battle has become a big old fat flustercluck. Heinrich Himmler and his White Kings with the Grail Guard in support are trying to surround the Soul Crusher. I think Frog might even be in here, maybe. No, it looks like it's Marauder Berserkers instead. Where is the Frog himself? Maybe he is indeed in here. Looks like we are going to get a chest of potions come down, or dwellers below, one of the two, and it is going to be... Boom, 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 boom. Oh no, it's... Oh my god, it's a piercing bolts of burden. I love it, doing massive damage there to both friend and foe. Massive damage on the Soul Crusher, actually, who took kind of the worst of damage. Burden Head does come in as well. Blood Knights, though, going to be doing some good cycle charging, and Frog was indeed swimming amongst the enemy, hidden in banners. Burden Head's also going to roast some of the halberds here in the distance. Soul Crusher falls back to try to pummel down the Grail Knights where possible. The Jade Wizard has unfortunately been caught in the back. Knights of the Realm will easily dispatch him. Boris is nearby, might be able to try to save his Jade Wizard friend here, who does have regrowth currently popped on him. That's going to be a tough fight for sure. Soul Crusher is doing okay in the middle. It's kind of hit some of the War Wagons for now, or hit its own War Wagons, but needs to drive back and really shut down these archers who have done so much damage so far. Vampire Count contingent looking very strong and ferocious so far. The Grave Guard doing good, but more importantly, the White Kings and the Blood Knights and Heinrich Himmler are very, very healthy. Looks like Norsca Warhounds have finally managed to found themselves in a little home here in the bodies of these peasant bowmen, going to be ripping at their throats and tearing them apart. And look how quickly the peasant bowmen doth fall. One paladin is terrified, abandoning the lady and her new corrupt vampiric ways. Grail Knights charging into the deep once more, looking to overrun this Witch Hunter, as well as some of the halberd units. Boris is going to be able to get up into the sky and escape once more. War Wagons have done pretty decent work fighting to a lot of these elite knights. Good play here by the Empire player to keep them fighting as long as they have been. Soul Crusher does have Enrage currently popped and needs to start assassinating some of these key targets, I think, for the Counts. Boris Todbringer vibing up in the sky, waiting for the opportune moment to strike. Maybe going after Himmler wouldn't be the worst idea in the world. War Wagons, still a bucket ton of ammunition, and it looks like they are now shooting in at the Knights of the Realm as well as Fey Enchantress. Fey is starting to get a little bit hairy here. Piercing Bolts of Burning goes down, is going to catch some of the Grail Knights there, but the majority of forces was able to move away. I love the Bolts of Pierce and Burn and play, by the way. It's not a good spell because it's so easy to dodge, but it is very fun for sure. Blood Knight's going to be rear charging into some of the Marauder Berserkers. That's not going to be a good day at all for the Berserkers there, who are already struggling, surrounded by enemies and zombies and all that kind of nasty stuff. Peasant Bowmen are still online. It looks like they were saved from that Warhound pressure, and the poor Soul Crusher is just getting it from all sides. Dwellers Below does go down on the War Wagons. I mean, not the worst idea. It will slow them, but there's not much to follow up, it would seem. They take pretty decent damage, but all their pieces do seem to still be intact. Boris is dueling down here against the Grail Knights as well as Fey Enchantress. He probably needs to stand and fight this right now. Hope that the Grail Knights break off and then finish off the Fey, as they need something special right now to come back into this game. But CB have been on ridiculous form today, and I think they're going to take this one as well. Boris Todbringer is running for his life, and all of the forces are just breaking all over the battlefield. Lovely little zombie summon does come down to try to pin in the war wagons. Soul Crusher's shattered. Boris is about to be forced off the battlefield. White Kings are so healthy. Heinrich Kemmler's so healthy. And there's not much left standing and fighting. In fact, what is even fighting for their force right now? And is it just the war wagons? It was just the war wagons, who did a good job, but CB will be winning this clan war. But we do still have more games to go, but I don't think it's mathematically possible for them to be caught up anymore. Why bring Boris and Law of Life? I guess here to heal the mammoth isn't a bad idea at all. How's it going? Duck of Rubber? It's going very well, Kean of Green Tree. I'm having a good fun stream here. It's been a good Wednesday. We've still got 3 games to go, and I'm very excited to hop into them. But yeah, I'm having a good day. How are you? How are you, man? Hope it is going well over on your end. Well played to the bold of Bretonnia and Ashrai as well. I think the army just worked a little bit better together and was quite nice here up against the Norskins and the Empire troops. Across the board, let's have a little look at damage dealt and damage value. I mean, not too much on Heinrich Kemmler, but again, he's more here for support. White Kings, 800 and 1,100 damage value. Zombies were, of course, born to die. Graveguard, not the best damage value, but good kills. 69, and 103 to clear out the enemy. 1,100 damage value and 1,000 on the Blood Knights, both so healthy in the later stages of the game that they were a big determining factor, I think, in this matchup. As for the forces of Bretonnia, their cavalry fared not quite as well, unfortunately, as the Blood Knights, or this unit of Knights of the Realm. Oh my god. 1,835 damage value. Really impressive work by them. The others only 266, 787, 688, and 886. Peasant Bowman did a really solid job, bringing down some key targets in the mid-stage of the game. And Asherai did a good job keeping them online. 670 damage value, 780, and 320. Faye got 1.7. Paladin was kind of pathetic and ran away from her multiple times. But the Faye don't need no man. She's a strong independent sorceress and Mortis Engine. 1,764 damage value on her. Full count Leak, Frog, I love the pick, but only 280 damage value, he really did struggle. The Familiar Delphin Fire with the Piercing Bolt to burn him was amazing. He did get 1.3k damage value, but many of them were also dodged. The Berserkers did not have a good time. I mean, this unit did. 247 kills, but damage value across the board was really bad by them, and they ended up getting surrounded and just dragged down. Soul Crusher did solid though, 1,815 damage value and 81 kills, isn't shabby whatsoever. For the Mighty Way, 500 on Boris, 100 on the Jade Wizard, and only 46 on the Witch Hunter. His infantry got butchered, just butchered, like basically no damage value on the Spearmen. Halberdiers performed far better, 800 value, 960, and 1,029. As for the War Wagons, 760, 860, 920, and 630 damage value isn't shabby, but at the same time isn't going to win you the game. So that is 2 points there. If I go over to this, that is 2 points for CB. Boo, up to 8 points now, and there's 15 points on the table for this whole event, so there is no way XMT can come back and win this, but we'll see if they can get some points on the board, get a little bit of momentum to go into their next game with, because obviously this is the group game. There's plenty more left to come. So up next, we will be seeing a Rider of Rohan, as well as Samurai Warrior, up against Lord Lever and Pan Dasma. I just realised, is Lord Lever's name Lord Lever because he's Lord of all levers, or he likes to leave his lord behind and get them assassinated and killed? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Volkmar would have been a better pick. Oh, Volkmar could have been nasty. Is this game really playable in competitive mode with all the current bugs? 100%, Homer, 100%. There's not that many bugs. There's the Cav bug, and that's basically it. Air Effect bug got fixed. Chariots got fixed. So not bugs we're talking about. Let's talk about Cavalry not being as optimal as it was, but it's not really bugged. It's just not as good as it used to be. Yeah, not bad. Decided to buy Warcraft 3. Haven't played in 12 years. Jumped on PvP and got my arse whooped, but was a nostalgic, so was a vibe. I like that kind of vibe. I've never played Oh no, I played the World of Warcraft games when I was visiting my cousin once in New Zealand, which was really fun. And World of Warcraft, like the big MMORPG, is something that I thought of getting into multiple times, but the fact you have to pay for it, and I don't know if I would enjoy that type of game or not, I've kind of stayed away at the moment. Anyway, let's hop into this one. I'm going to have a little bit more of a drink and give my voice a rest for 2 minutes. If you guys have any questions, now is your time to ask them. There we go. Alright, again guys, if you're enjoying, make sure to like and subscribe and all that good standard YouTube stuff. But Rider of Rohan, Samurai of Warrior, calls for your aid, and it looks like Rohan shall answer. Let's hop into this one and see how it fares. So it shall be the Dowie! Yes, we get to see some Dowie action. Dwarfs and Empire, that is a very thematic alliance. Come up against Bretonnia and Dark Elves, quite a bit less thematic. Bretonnia seem to be a very popular pick in 2v2s. Yeah, Warcraft 3 is RTS single purchase. Yeah, no, I was talking about like the big game, but yeah, Warcraft is single purchase, right? I don't know if you got the remastered edition, if that's what it is. I know Turin does some live streams of it and stuff. There are several ability bugs beside the Cav one. I mean, Cav are like half bugged. They're still... I mean, we've just seen a load of Quest Knights and Cavalry perform stupidly well. But yeah, this is a 100% fine to play competitive one at the moment. Magic missiles have been fixed. I have tested it. So, breath attacks might be still a bit buggy. But yeah, I don't know what you're really worried about, man. Everyone's playing on the same version of the game. Anyway, for the alliance of the Empire and the Dwarves, we have Marcus Wolfheart leading the forces of Empire here. And for the Empire forces, we have a load of halberds once again. Halberds a very common pick now. Spearmen guarding the flanks, halberds guarding the rear. We do have the silver bullets in the centre with the Sunmaker as well. Royal Altdorf Griffites shall be brought to the battlefield. Elite bad to the bones. Probably as cool as you can get being a good human in this game. I mean, look at these mounts with the leopard print on the back. They look very, very cool. One of my favourite looking cavalry units in the game, the Great Stag Knights, are a little bit more cool. And of course horned ones, but I'm a bit biased there because of my Lizardmen bias. We do also have a Jade Wizard down here with Earthblood and Awakening Wood. And for the forces of the Dowie, their stalwart allies, we have a Cannon, we have Dragonback Slayers, we have Dwarf Warriors and Miners dotted all the way along, and a couple of units of Thunderers. For the forces of evil here, the Bretonnians as well as the Dark Elves, representing XMT, we have the Quest Knights, in fact 3 units of Quest Knights on the left-hand side, 4 units of Quest Knights, my god, that is a lot of Knights hitting that one flank. Nice little flank overload. We do have a couple of field trebuchets, backed up by peasant archers. We also have spearmen at arms and men at arms in the central of the battlefield. A load of peasants make up the front line, backed up by Blackheart Corsairs of the Dark Elves, who are probably quite happy to move their slaves into the front line to absorb the damage. With a K-Knight Assassin, we have Crone Hellebron. Oh my god, XMT have come with some builds today, but look at this. The Fey Enchantress, Crone Hellebron Dream Team for all those simps out of there. We have Gazer Cane, Amulet of Dark Fire, the Cursed Blades, Fey Enchantress come with Earthblood, as well as a Paladin on the ground, and then just a load of Dark Shards to help back them up. Pretty cool stuff, I must admit, and without further ado, let's hop into this one. So the Hellstorm Rocket Battery is opening shots up at the moment at the Witch Elves. So we have a load of Witch Elves in the centre, including actually Hard Executioners, which is quite cool. I missed them earlier, alongside a Sorcerer of Shadow. Who's your money on, lads? Who do you think's got this? Yeah, I do. Turin was the one who got you keen to re-download it. Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure. So, a load of shots do come in. And Marcus Wolfheart is simply going to bounce back and forth and start to run away. Though I do quite like the field trebuchets here, focusing down the Dwarf Warriors. Cannons are now unleashing hell, but at the moment into peasants, which, you know, is good fun for the cannon crew, but isn't going to get you much value. They instead start switching targets to some of these paladins. Hellstorm's rocket batteries are switching shots to Dark Shards, which of course is a good play. Lovely little Awakening Wood, very well placed there here by that Empire player, managing to catch the Witch Elves, slow them down, and the peasant mobs. Hellstorm rocket battery is unfortunately not the most accurate at the moment. Is that the Sunmaker? Or is the... No, it is the Sunmaker as well. Restock going down on it. Oh my god! You can restock the Sunmaker with your Dwarvish Master Engineer allies. That is such a cool idea. Lovely fat juicy net goes down. Marcus tries to assassinate Faye, but unfortunately, some of the peasants do take the damage. I mean, that is their job at the end of the day, right? Earthblood goes down as well. Thunderers unleash hell into the K-Knight Assassin, doing some good work. We're going to see it yet another Awakening Wood. Oh no, it's a Rune of Wrath and Ruin. Not that well placed this time, unfortunately. Although the murderous, blood-fueled has started to be burst into the world. Look at this. I love this look of the ability. Crone Hellebrand summons all the blood in the world and makes it go into a big, lovely little puffy kind of tornado of doom. In the front line, Dwarf Warriors are being absolutely slaughtered right now. Thunderers are starting to focus down Crone Hellebrand, and the Dark Elves and Bretonnians do need to get into this back line, trying to shut down those Thunderers as quickly as possible. On the left-hand side, Dark Shards have managed to get into range of this organ gun. I thought it was a cannon, but it is in fact an organ gun, which needs to shoot back and get rid of these Dark Shards as quickly as possible, because the crewmen will be eviscerated. Silver Bullets, as well as Sigma Suns, are making up the centre of this portion, rallying around Thoric Ironbrow, as well as Marcus Wolfheart. Thoric does dive in amongst the scantily clad Sisters of Singing Doom, and he's having a whale of a time, particularly with the Sigma Suns here to protect his Chatness. A load of shots currently focused in at the Fey Enchantress, doing some really nice damage. This organ gun, though, up to 70 kills, has actually put on a pretty impressive display. You can see Hellstorm Rocket Battery is trying to finish off Peasant Bowman, also hitting the Spearman Arms at the same time. Peasant mobs are kind of just floating around. Fey Enchantress looks like she may actually go down here, so her bullets are really putting a hurt on her. She actually dies from an overcast in a puff of blood and magic. Hargreaves Executioners, probably not too sad to see her go, but at the same time they're like, where's our healing, lads? And they're now fighting up against Dragonback Slayers, not the best target for them whatsoever. Cannon has been forced back. Master Engineer has also been forced back. Crone Hellebrand still cackling and licking the blood off her lips from the Fey exploding. Does need to realise that her healing is now gone as well, so these silver bullets have been disgusting. Oh no! Oh no, the net comes down. These silver bullets damage value is going to be off the charts, surely. Yeah, 1,500 damage value is ridiculous. And it looks like Crone Hellebrand has just been assassinated with the help here of Marcus Wolfheart. Now, Question Knights are amongst the silver bullets, but alas, it probably won't be enough. Crone is down to 145 HP. Dragonback Slayers are driving them away. Thoric Ironbrow is fighting the K-Knight Assassin at the moment and not having the best of days. Question Knights do return here for the red team, and they're going to be slamming in to the Jade Wizard, looking to surround him and break him down. He's not going down without a fight, though. Awakening Woods does go down. Balance Power currently is in favour of CB, who are in the green team, against the red of Extreme Meme team. Miners are now fighting Sisters of Singing Doom, but the Sisters are very beat up, and they're actually driving back a lot of the Dark Shards now, which is really good use of such a cheap and cheerful unit. It looks like a second Rune of Wrath rune went down. Again, not quite catching the Hargreaves Executioners where he wanted them, though, which I'm not sure what's been going on with those cards. They've not been super good, unfortunately, from Thoric. Sigma Suns are in here with some Dwarf Warriors, trying their best to drag down the Hargreaves Executioners. K-Knight Assassin is going to be falling back. Sorcerer of Shadows is vibing right now. The Hellstorm Rocket Battery crew has fallen back, so it looks like they were getting harassed quite a bit in the back burners here. They now have time to move back on if need be. We haven't really focused on the Royal Aldorf Griffites too much, but they have indeed returned to the battle, and they're going to be going after the Quest Knights with a lovely little charge into each other. This is really going to favour the Royal Aldorf Griffites, particularly with a Flash Bomb going down, lowering that melee defense, and look how quickly they get chunked. Lovely, lovely Pierce Shades comes down on all of these units of Halberds who did try to surround the Paladin. That's going to be some pretty juicy work. And yeah, Quest Knights just get slaughtered by the Royal Altdorfs, and not too good for the Questy boys. Master Engineer is still poking and firing from afar right now. The battle's become very stretched. A lot of Dark Shards have actually returned to the field, and both the Trebuchets are still firing. Some peasant mobs have returned, but with the lack of leadership, they are starting to struggle a little bit. Imagine if the Fae was alive right now. She could heal up some of these Quest Knights and so forth. I think they'd be in a solid position. Royal Altdorfs are just going to finish off these Quest Knights and shatter them. Look at all the bodies on the ground. Almost all of them are Quest Knights. And there's like one Royal Altdorf Griffite down here. The Paladin, as well, is going to be getting chased down by Sunmaker crew, which is a little bit dishonourable. The Sorceress of Shadows is also struggling in the centre, and Hargreaves Executioners, though they got 104 kills, are starting to struggle quite badly. And I think this could be GG's. I mean, I don't know, what do you guys think? Is there any way back in it for them? Dark Shards are firing, Field Trebuchets are firing as well, but there's still 64 Dwarf Warriors here, 71 Dwarf Warriors there, a lot of them around. Thoric Ironbrow is relatively healthy, at least for this stage of the game. There's a Sunmaker, which has a load of ammo, because it keeps getting restocked, and a basically full health Marcus Wolfheart finishing off the Paladins. It's looking super, super rough, I think, at least in my little duck opinion. Almost all of the army is starting to waver, so I could definitely see some big breaks coming in, forcing into army losses as the Sigma Suns and Dwarf Warriors are starting to push now aggressively into this back line. Now, triple Dark Shards are certainly going to bring the pain. This is a rather thankless and horrible job for the Dwarf Warriors. Their shields are raised, they're bloodied, but, you know, it's a job someone's got to do. We have to drive these Dark Elves out of their hidey holes and push them back once more, although they may indeed break in their attempt. I do think the Hellstorm rocket battery got back online there. It looks like they are, and plenty of ammunition left. Hellstorm is going to start raining shots in, aiming at, could be the Dark Shards, could be the Field Trebuchets, who knows. That's inaccurate. They're aiming for this general direction. That's the best way to put it, and nearly breaking these units after the first salvo. Dwarf Warriors do get finished off, but at the same time, all of the Dark Elf units are now using up ammunition, which does help with the balance of power. Peasant Bowmen also raining shots in, and these Dwarf Warriors unfortunately do go down. Hellstorm Rocket Battery is actually targeting the Field Trebuchet, doing some pretty decent damage, and I don't know how long these peasants are going to remain on the battlefield for. Rune of Doom goes down, all the dwarves, and including their allies, so it does affect allies, buffing up those spearmen. So going really wide with a dwarf ally is very powerful in 2v2s and 3v3s. You get some really cool, interesting tactics in 2v2s and 3v3s that we don't normally get to see here on the channel, so it's quite fun to pop in and delve into them a little bit. It looks like one cannon's still firing. Orn gun, unfortunately, is not. Hellstorm rocket battery is up to 254 kills. Poor cannon's actually getting eviscerated right now by the Field Trebuchets. The Sunmaker is only got enough men, it seems, to man one of their rockets, which is a little bit of a shame. But still, hey, you still got plenty of ammunition. Little shots do come in, still aiming at the Field Trebuchet crew. Not quite enough to break them, unfortunately. Dark Shards are starting to move back. Likewise are the Black Elk Corsairs, and maybe there's a little bit of a last stand going on here. Sorceress has come back to lead her people. I do love how the peasant mobs are in the front like they're the slaves of the Dark Elves, who like pushing them forward to battle and slaughter. Hellstorm Rocket Battery does, once again, connect relatively poorly with the Field Trebuchet. It's certainly not a good counter-artillery piece when it's in this state. When it has all 3 rockets, it actually kills artillery crews really quickly, so it can be quite powerful at that. 254 kills, though, it's already done a good enough job. Dark Shards are trying to focus down the Dwarf Warrior units. I mean, hitting the Frog Ironbrow wouldn't be the worst idea. Unfortunately, Dark Shards do take some Sunmaker shots to the face, losing models, which loses precious killing power. We're going to see another Rune of Wrath Rune go down, catching the Black Elk Corsairs as they retreat through. That's going to be army losses, and yet another victory there for CB. Really well played there in that 2v2. I was rather impressed with the Empire player in particular. I think did a really good job with the Hellstorm Rocket Battery, but due to the good synergy with Pandasma, and I love the Orn gun pick, boy, that was beautiful, with that Master Engineer. Master Engineer, very good here in this matchup. Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of bugs, but there's a lot of bugs in like every single game I've ever played. So honestly, the game's in a relatively healthy state right now, apart from Cavalry, which isn't even that bad. It's really overblown on some people. Cavalry still performs really well if you use it correctly, although it isn't quite as powerful as it should be right now. But yeah, anyway, back to the battlefield. Hope you guys enjoyed that one. It was certainly some madness. Try my best to bounce around. I think Evil Team did quite well, all things considered. Oh, for sure. If they was yeah, honestly, if their lords survived, I think XMT were actually in a really dominant position. But just getting both their lords sniped by the silver bullets, that play was so nasty from the team of Team CB here. So for the Dwarf Forces, Frog Ironbrow, 1.2k damage value. You're going to see him, I would argue, every single time the Dwarfs play in a 2v2 or 3v3. And 99% time in games, the single play. He's just that good compared to the other Dwarf Lords. 620 damage value on the Master Engineer, 588 on the Miners of Blasting charges. Dwarf Warriors across the board didn't do too much, but they held back the enemy, which was key. 1000 value on the Drownback Slayers. Thunderers not doing too well. Orn Gun got 101 kills, which was cool, but only 700 damage value, so not unfortunately really paying for itself. Cannon 675 was quite nice. Now, the Empire player played a really good game here as well. 1560 damage value on Marcus Wolfheart, 240 on the Jade Wizard. Infantry didn't do too much. Once again, the halberds far superior to spearmen, it seems, in all the games we've seen so far today. Anything else crazy? I mean, silver bullets, 1.6k damage value, basically killing both enemy commanders. 1.7 on the demigryphs, and 2,660 damage value on the Hellstorm. More importantly, though, 260 kills, really clearing out the chaff, enabling the silver bullets and other units to survive and drag down XMT there. Rider of Rohan, 49 damage value on the Fey Enchantress, so not much there. 728 on the Paladin, trying to avenge his lady. The infantry force really did struggle across the board, likewise with the archers. The knights fared a bit better, 1000 damage value, 600, 500, 400, but nothing too crazy. And though the field trebuchets fired for the duration of the battle, I don't know about field trebuchets, they never seem to be that great. They're relatively cheap, I suppose, as artillery pieces, just shy of 500 damage value, 760 on this second one. And for the Dark Elves, I love the Hellebron pick, the Hellebroni. Oh, the Hellebroni. Hellebron is Hellebron, yeah. He didn't have any Hellebroni, I don't think. Kind of 854 damage value, good stuff there. 1160 on the Sorceress, 640 on the Assassin. Black Hawk Corsairs really did carve a bloody hole through the enemy. Any big value anywhere else? I mean, the Hard Execution is probably amazing, just shy of 2k damage value, but yeah, everywhere else really did start to struggle, unfortunately. So that's another 2 points on the board for CB. So they're up to 10 right now. Might have to make that 10 a little bit smaller so you can fit it into the duck. And there is 2 games left. So we have a 2v2 and a 3v3 worth 2 points and 3 points respectively. And this time we have Hydra Dominatus and Lunacy with the Vampire Coast and Tomb Kings going very... Oh no! Oh no! Guys, have you seen the factions? We have Tomb Kings and Vampire Coast versus Vampire Coast and Vampire Counts. And undead... 4 players undead. 4 players undead. Yeah, the builds were definitely against XMT. They played really good, like forced their way back in, but once their characters were assassinated as well, it was game over. It was game over. Except the Cav, there is no game breaking bugs right now. Yeah, exactly. There's nothing like game breaking. I mean, the cavalry thing's not even game breaking in my opinion. Like, I've seen cavalry used in the majority of all battles. I do think it should be more powerful. I'm not saying, hey, don't fix cav, but it's been way overblown. Cav still does work. These should be good. Bwahaha. Undead Scrum. No, guy. I'm so sad. We actually... Oh, Dr. Nick in chat is actually Gobbo Slayer. You played in the 3v3 as well. You are. Oh, we get 2 Gobbo Slayer games. Hell yes. It's always a good day when you get to see Gobbo Slayer in action. So let's hop in this and we can collectively cry together. We can cry as we... Oh, Gobbo. Gobbo, Gobbo, Gobbo. What is this build? I love it. I love it. It's just a load of sirens. Oh, this is wild. I think there's a similar build coming up with Team Hello. I think Valkanos is casting that where there was like a depth guard rush build. It was really funny. So, Lunacy. And I can't remember who it was now. Oh no, it doesn't say the names. Well, the forces of CB are in green here today. And, well, green and blue versus Team Red. So let's see what they have brought to the battlefield. So for the Tomb Kings, we have Necropolis Knights. We have Horsemen as well. Some Skeleton Spearmen dotted throughout the main battle line. So yeah, Skeletons in the front line, flanked by the Necropolis Knights. Backed up by Horsemen, we have Chosen the Gods for some long-range superiority. A Necrotect and Setcher the Imperishable on his mighty Kitty Cat. We have Zombie Pirate Deck Mobs in the back, protecting mortars. We have 2 mortars. No, we have... How many mortars do we have? 2 mortars, 1 carronade. We have some zombie pirate gunnery mob bombers. We, of course, have the gunnery white on a crab. I'm so sick and tired of seeing these guys now, but they're just so powerful. I understand why basically every vampire coast player takes them every single time. So we have a double gunnery white, and they're flanking Count Noculus. I thought I saw Depth Guard. Oh no, that was on the other side of the battlefield. So that's it for the forces of the Tomb King Alliance, we'll call them, up against the Count Alliance, and this build is just beautiful. So we have Scurvy Dogs backing up Sirens, we have a load of Cane Wraiths as well. Oh my god, it's just a full rush build. So Cane Wraiths, Crypt Horrors, Sirens, it is a work of beauty. Zombies dotted all the way along as well, some Scurvy Dogs on the flanks, we have Depth Guard in the centre. We have a single mortar kind of well placed here behind this hill. We have Heinrich Kemmler leading the forces of the Counts. We have a Vampire Fleet Captain of Deep down here on the ground, which is a very interesting choice. Don't get to see this guy at all, really. Coming in with Kraken Pull and Spiteful Shot, given that... Oh, given the magic damage is actually kind of necessary, so you need kind of one of these guys on the battlefield. With a Corpse Cart with Balefire, we have White Kings, 2 of them in fact, and up in the skies, Luther Harkin. And I think that's it for the most part of the build. Some Vargeist in there as well. I don't think we missed too much. Of course, with these 2-2s and 3-3s, there's so many units we're bound to miss 1 or 2 things. Hydra, that's the one, yes. They didn't meme enough. Oh god. Oh god, I don't know how this battle's going to go. I mean, Is there much magic damage here at all? They've got the items on the gunnery whites, I guess, and the ability from Count Noctis, but that's it for magic damage. So they may actually struggle to kill all these sirens. It really depends how those magic does indeed land. So some nice damage is going into the Crypt Horrors, who are currently the main focus of attention for the Chosen of the Gods, which is bad news for them. They're not going to be having a good day, although it looks like a lot of those other shots did miss. Only one Crypt Horror being felled there. Sirens are starting to push up. Now, Luther Harkin is a very deadly duelist in the sky, so essentially the Imperishable needs to be careful. You don't honestly want to tussle with Luther at all, if possible. There are, of course, Snake support, as well as you Shopti, who can do some really good work. Mortars actually just are blowing up, skeleton spearmen, bones and dirt flying in all different directions. Double White King is going to be trying to fight to the double gunnery white, I am sure of it. The Sirens do charge into the front line, and they don't have the greatest damage output, if we're being honest. And, oh, look at that damage coming from the gunnery white there. With that really horrible ability, if you look down here, it is the Scab Scaife, and it does so much work. One unit of Sirens basically down to half health instantly. They've got more Cane Knives coming in, more Sirens as well, looking to engage with their enemies. So if they can take out those gunnery whites, their build might actually work. The pure madness here. Sirens, as well as the Scurvy Dogs, are whipping around the flank here. Luther Harkin flying high in the skies, just pistoling some shots in. Maybe he wants to move down to try to engage Cetra in hand-to-hand combat. Sirens, as well as the Scurvy Dogs, are just clattering in at the moment to Horsemen, as well as the Necropolis Knights here. And the Chosen Gods are trying to hit Luther Harkin, but he's darting and weaving left and right. And it looks like the back line is still relatively online and functioning for the Tomb King Alliance. Another little bit of damage though goes down on the Bombers, coming in from the White Kings, who are fighting alongside the Depth Guard now. Up to 66 kills the Depth Guard. They need to start driving home as much as possible, particularly shut down these Bombers, who can do good damage to the infantry. On the left-hand flank, the Cane Knives are really bringing it to the Knights. The Knights not having a good day whatsoever. Vargeist as well, floating up and down in the sky, doing some good work. Mortar pressure currently aiming down on the zombies, so not good targets there whatsoever. In the back, the Mortars for the team of the Vampire Counts, doing relatively decent, up to 88 kills, not bad whatsoever. There's basically nothing to countercharge them right now. Vargeist flying high in the sky, probably want to dart back and hit these Mortars, now that the Deckhand mobs have indeed been committed to the main fight. Or come over here and start surrounding the gunnery whites, start applying a bit of pressure to them and trying to drag them down. Luther Harkin has taken an absolute pounding, unfortunately. I don't even know what's done that to him. I guess Cetra on cycle charging. Incantation of Cursed Blades does go down, and Luther Harkin needs to retreat for his life. Looks like Chosen of the Gods also doing some pretty good damage on him. Luther Harkin is very healthy in the middle with his gunnery whites, which is a big problem here for the team of the Counts. Vargeist have managed to beat down the Mortar though, which is good play. Balance power is basically dead even, almost 3.5 minutes into this game. The Heinrich Kemmler is doing relatively solid as well. We do get another zombie summon coming down to try to help support. Depth Guard are really chewing their way through the enemy at the moment down on this flank, which is certainly going in the favour of XMT. And now the White Kings are really applying some pressure to the gunnery whites. While I'm down to about half HP, Luther Harkin needs to assist here in finishing off and assassinating these guys. Such the Imperishable is still looking pretty imperishable and very healthy, which is a little bit unfortunate here for the Count Alliance. The Shopty Summon does go down, pinning in the Crypt Horrors. There's still so many Cane Wraiths and Sirens left on the battlefield. It is starting to look a little bit hairy here for CB. Luther Harkin is just vibing up in the skies, doing a relatively solid job of staying alive. Though the gunnery whites are applying some nice pressure. They also have the help of the Necrotechs nearby. More powder has been popped as well, giving these guys just so much ammo. Such the Imperishable is now bounding joyfully and gleefully through the Depth Guard. Not a bad tactic whatsoever. Depth Guard trying to shut down the Mortars, it would seem. And up in the sky, Luther Harkin is getting very low HP-wise. Very low indeed. A lovely little tier attack there. Come down on the Cane Wraiths by the White King once more. Does the Count Noctis is a little bit on the retreat here, trying to fall back from those White Kings. He does have Cetra for support. And we're going to be seeing a fat spell come down here. An absolute fat one. What is it? Oh yes, it's Kraken's Pull. Look at this awesome animation coming to effect. It's a spell you rarely get to see. It's going to be dragging people to the murky depths and into the void once more. You can see them getting picked up and just pulled in. No one having a good time when there's a load of tentacles around. Gunnery White is struggling a little bit now. Both Gunnery Whites have taken considerable damage. Heinrich Kemmler does have Dance in the Car popped on him. doing a decent job. Luther Harkin as well is flying high up in the sky, doing a big breath attack down on Gunnery White, looking to try to finish him off, and the Madness build might just work here. Sirens and Cane Knife starting to get a nice surround. It looks like XMT are starting to take a pretty big advantage in this game. Luther Harkin still surviving. Really good micromanagement here by the Vampire Pirate player, keeping him alive after there's been some pretty kind of scary situations for him. Essentially, the Impenetrable is trying to duel the Crypt Horrors to a standstill, it would seem. There's so many Cane Knives around supporting. Luther Harkin has a ton of ammunition, so once his Gunnery Whites have been dealt with, he can quite happily just, pistol etc. to death if he gets that opportunity in the later stages of the game. Zombie Summon goes down to help Heinrich Kemmler deal with the Necrotech. There's also White King there for support. Does look like one of the Gunnery Whites managed to escape, though. Likewise did Count Noculus, which is pretty scary stuff here for Luther Harkin, considering how low he is. But the rest of the army for Team Tomb King Alliance is really going down quite quickly here. The Chosen Gods didn't actually use up that much ammunition. They still have a ton left, but unfortunately for them, only 30 kills on their resume. Luther Harkin is going to dive in, looking to try to prove to Count Noculus who's the true ruler of the deep. A lovely little attack comes in once again on the Cane Wraiths, doing some nice work there. Sirens are going to be able to clear up the Deckhand Mob polearms here. Such the Impenetrable has been hornswaggled, decreases melee defense, armor, and speed considerably, and Luther Harkin is getting down and dirty. "You shall bow before me, peasant," he screams as he rips the throat out of that animated kitty cat, and down Cetra goes, perishing once more into the deep. Count Noculus stands alone in a tide of enemies. Not quite sure how he's still going here. Army loss is basically on deck. But Vargei's charging in, Luther Harkin charging in. He shan't be long for this world. He is very healthy at the moment. And this is kind of the battle for the rulership of all Vampire Pirates across the realms. And then there's not one that Count Noculus can win. Luther Harkin, the Mad Genius, with the Mad Genius build, does come through with a victory. There's no way this White King Noculus can survive. I mean, Army Loss is set now. I have no idea why these guys are taking so long to crumble. But hey, that's undead factions for you. But you can't really blame them. They are undead versus undead right now. Yeah, minus 128 leadership and still not crumbling. Absolute wild stuff there. And down they go, it does seem. Luther Harkin takes quite a bit of damage, but should be able to survive the battle to claim his rightful place at the head of the Vampire Coast faction. Death Guard did a good job. 235 kills, still going strong in the later stages of the game. So XMT do finally get that blood that they were so desiring. Well played to Gobbo Slayer and Uncle Grant, who I think is Uncle Grant maybe as well. I'm not sure who Uncle Grant is. I don't know if he's playing under a different name. But doing a really good job there and managing to secure some points for XMT. Really awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. Madness. Madness indeed, Mr. Zensky's cartoons. Mr. Zensky's, do you do animated cartoons? Because I swear I've seen some of them. I swear I've seen some with someone with a similar name of you. So let me know if it is indeed you. Well played to these guys. Lunacy tried his best. 2.7k damage value on Count Noculus. The Gunnery Whites as well, 1.1 and 2.8k damage value respectively. As for the infantry across the board, it didn't do too much. I mean, it really was just trying to be carried here by the leadership core of the pirates. 70 damage value on the bombers as well. The carronades and mortars performed really badly all around there. But good play with his characters from Lunacy. As for Hydra Dominatus, which I'm going to pronounce your name like that, hopefully I'm correct, it's actually decent, 1.1k damage value, 594 on the Necrotect. Infantry across the board and the cavalry didn't fare too well. Chosen of the Gods, though they only got 30 kills, were targeting down Luther Harkin a lot of the game and other key targets, so still managed to get a really solid 2,000 damage value. Snakes simply got overwhelmed there. Gobbo Slayer, I don't know if you're still watching, but your build was absolutely beautiful and I love it in every single way. 2.7k damage value on Luther Harkin, only 197 on the Vampire Fleet Captain, but they were really here for that Kraken pull attempt. The Sirens, not the most damage value across the board. I mean, 960 and 950 were the standouts. The Depth Guard, 1.2k there, 235 kills, being one of the big chaff clearers, alongside the Mortar, who got 929 damage value. As for the old uncle here, Heinrich Kemmler got 600 damage value. Double White King performed really well, 610 and 1,000 damage value, but still being full health at the end of the game. Zombies got slaughtered, but the Cane Wraiths, my god, 1,000 damage value, 600, 300, and then 1,100 again. Crypt Horrors actually did relatively solid, 800 and 500 damage value apiece. Vargeists were amazing, 1.7 damage value. A lot of that was from clearing up the enemy Mortar Tower. Cobbscart just vibing with the Balefire there, getting an impressive 10 damage value. So let's update the scoreboard here. boop, 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 and go to XMT. They will get 2 points for that, as it was a 2v2, and there's potential for more points left yet for them. Try to get some momentum before going into their next clan war, which could be against their own team. I don't know in which order it is going to be, but I will be casting that as well. Very excited for it. So, it is going to be Lord Lever, Lunacy, and Hydra Dominatus, trying to get a bit of revenge here against Gobbo Slayer, Pognabon, and Rider of Rohan in the final game of the stream. Oh, what's up, Henry? Have a wonderful rest of your day. Signing off, Quack Quack. Thank you so much, man. Thank you for tuning in and enjoying. Hope you did have a good fun one. Thank you so much, dude, for the $5. It really is super appreciated. And I hope you had a good time, man. But yeah, I'm going to have a pretty good day. I've got a big D&D session, actually, after this. And that's why we are streaming slightly early. Doing that in about an hour's time. So it's going to time relatively well here. Thank Gork it's over. Undead versus undead blows. Well, we may get some more undead here. I mean, Lunacy does like his undead, so he will probably be playing them. Pognabon and Rider of Rohan I don't think would go undead, but Gobbo Slayer may well do. Yeah, honestly, as far as undead and undead goes, I kind of enjoyed that quite a bit. I thought that was pretty funny. Just having a sip of my drink there, guys. So, final fight. Who's your money on? Who is your money on? Can Extreme Meme Team drag this back even more, or will CB seal their sweet victory with a lovely closing game? Let's find out. Have a fun D&D session. Oh, I will. Early works best for me, as I live in DC. Well, I'm going to hopefully be doing some early, some late, and kind of mixing up a little bit. So hopefully we get to see you a little bit more on the streams, man. I will have a fun D&D session. It's a pretty weird experience for me. It's like done over the internet, which I haven't done before. I've done like another D&D session like in person, which I find a lot easier. But yeah, I'm like a gnome paladin, because I thought it would be really funny to make like a jacked gnome. Paladin of Death, like worships this god of death, and we found out someone in our party once tried to become a leech, and that didn't go down super well, so it was a load of drama. It was really good fun. Anyway, let's hop in here. We're actually going to pause the battle, I think, because it's 3v3 and there's a lot to get into, and oh my god. What do we have? So for the forces of CB, we have High Elves, Norsca, and Wood Elves versus... Oh, I thought it was going to be so many... I thought there was a double mirror. It's not, so I said, oh my god. But okay, so High Elves, Norsca, and Wood Elves for CB versus Dwarves, Wood Elves, and Skaven. I feel like all lore has just been flown out of the window. I mean, High Elves and Wood Elves fighting together. Maybe they've converted the Marauders to the side of good. So maybe there's a chance here. Dwarves and Wood Elves maybe could fight together at the direst of straits if there's no tree units around. But fine with Skaven here. These guys have been corrupted. So, for the forces here of CB, we do have Double Way Stalker supporting Drecha. She's going to be coming in with her Pendulum. And then for the front line, we have a mixture of Spearmen and Marauders. Some great weapons, some basic, all along the line. Including a Familiar Bellfiend with Fireball, Cascading Firecloak, and Burning Head. We have Frog, White Lines to back up that battle line. And it looks like the Wood Elves invested basically all their money in like archers. We have just Glade Guard in the back. So many. A mixture of basic ones and Starfire Shafts. There's a load of Skinwolves in the back. Combined with Glade Guard once more. I don't know why this Glade Guard's over there. A lot of Skinwolves just waiting in case the opponent did try some Vanguard shenanigans. We have Shadow Warriors on the flank, a load of Silver Helms on the right-hand side, and none on the left. But we do have more Shadow Warriors. And is there any Vanguard troops? I feel like there must be. There is. Okay, so we still have Dryads and Glade Riders in Vanguard positions. I was wondering where all their money had gone. So for the forces of, I don't know how we're going to do this. We'll do the forces of green and blue and the forces of red. So for the forces of red, which is Extreme Meme Team, we have Dwarfs in the front line, basic Dwarf Warriors with Skaven Slaves fighting shoulder to shoulder with Poisonwind Globadiers in the middle. We have some Miners backing up the secondary line. Now this is a really good combo you can do. Sacrifice Skaven Slaves in the front, allow the Miners to blast them and their enemies, guaranteeing they get all their blasting charges off. We do have Glade Guard as well, with Starfire Shafts in the center. A lot more of a tight formation. Look at the mini-map. They're kind of a lot closer together than their more spread out opponent. So a load of Glade Guard in the middle. We have the Hawkeyes of Drakira. Oh, hell yeah. One of my favorite units from the OG Total War Warhammer 1 days. And they're very cool looking unit all round. The Regiment Renowned Way Watchers, don't get to see them at all, really. With a Glade Guard on foot as well. Glade Lord, I should say, coming in with the net. We have double Assassins alongside a Grey Seer of Plague, load of Clan Rats, load of Dwarf Warriors dotted throughout, some Glade Rider Cavalry, we have Poisonwind Mortars, we have Organ Guns, more cannons as well, I love the Organ Gun pick, more Poisonwind Mortars, and then just a load of chaff. mixing with some Slayers. We have Cannons in the back and Wild Riders. We have a Spell Sing of Life, which is all good. And who's the Lord for the Dwarves? It is Thoric Ironbrow, which was, of course, to be expected. I don't know where all the Wood Elf money is. I guess they have double Wild Riders in the back. So, of course, army restrictions and points and all that stuff does change in 3v3s compared to 1v1s and 2v2s and stuff. This is the final match for sure. What's up, Scarbrand? Oh no! You did miss most of it. We did do it a bit early, unfortunately, today, because I'm busy in the afternoon. But happy to have you here, champ. Hope you're doing all good. Did you notice Garnt didn't bring the heck? Oh, that's because he's a champ. That's because he's a champ, of course. Cheers for the update. No worries. It's been pretty good so far for CB, though this is Extreme Meme Team's second team. They have 2 teams in the group stages. In fact, in the same group. And yeah, you have to go back and check out that first one if you haven't seen it. I don't want to spoil it for anyone. And this is their second team. First one's called Extreme Meme Tryhards. This one's Extreme Meme Team. And they've still been memeing quite a bit, but still having some very close games. Orngun is starting to sing, and it is aiming just at the front line for now. Hitting that Archmage up in the sky, or Laurel the Radiant, wouldn't be the worst idea, but of course she can juke. Some big cannon shots going down on the Famir Belfiend of Fire. Glade Guard are unleashing hell upon the front line. Marauders not having a good day whatsoever, but hey, it's their job at the end of the day to absorb this damage, fight their way through the fire and the flames, and bring ruin to their enemy. Spearmen are getting lit up now by the Glade Guard. Where is the Wood Elf support? I mean, it's way too far back, I think, here for the forces of CB, because their front line's just getting dumpstered right now, but maybe they're waiting to the later stages of the game. Vanguard has been spotted. There's Glade Riders and Wild Riders here looking to support with the Dragonback Slayers, and on the other flank, similarly, Dwarf Warriors are being pulled back to try to protect. It seems so far, in the 2v2s as well, we saw, and the game with Parkborn, the XMT guys are going quite defensive with these, and that can certainly pay good dividends, but if you get forced, the backline gets forced open, you can get in real bad situations. Spearmen do route here, big fat burning head goes down the line on the Clan Rats, but the Dwarf Warriors simply shrug that off and laugh at your petty magic, and hold the line regardless. Lovely Pendulum comes down though on the Glade Guard, who are currently unleashing hell on a netted frog, and we do actually have Way Watchers firing here and Starfire Shafts, but the Skinwolves do come in just in the nick of time to try to overwhelm these troops. Frog is taking big damage right now, but he should be able to survive and fall back. Spearmen getting butchered here by the miners. Glade Guard do have a nice little firing portion of the battlefield going right now in the central pocket, trying to overwhelm the enemy. Skinwolves do receive a charge as well from Wild Riders, and they may actually go down here. We have a smoke bomb also dropped by the Hawk Riders, but I don't think it actually caught anything, unfortunately, for them. Lara the Radiant's taking quite a pounding again. The Wood Elf Fire Support's doing a good job so far. Poison Globe is just rinsing the infantry of the High Elves and Marauders, and things seem to be going really well right now for the Dwarf, Skaven, Wood Elf alliance. Poison Marauders are quite happily online. Organ Gun is still firing up to 97 kills. Interested to see what it's firing into. Big Burning Head does go down. The Wood Elf player for Team CB here, I think, left his Glade Guard way out of the fight for too long, but maybe it's a strategy to, hey, you soften them up and then I can kite them in the late game with my archers, so we may well be proven wrong here. Wild Riders have done a good job beating back one unit of Skinwolves, but have received a charge from the second, which isn't good news for them. Greyseer is bouncing around, and Drycha is well and truly in the back line. We do get a Star of Avalon, but only hearing up Alara of the Radiant here, so nothing too fantastic for her. But hey, healing is healing. Organ Gun does need to be pretty accurate right now. It needs to punish Frog where possible, because Frog is now hunting down those Poison Wind Mortars, and this is the big problem here for the Dowie team right now. Is once the back line gets shut down, they're going to be in so much problems, because that's where a lot of their punches come from in their build, and their Wild Riders are being forced back, which is a bit of a disaster for them. Organ Gun is still unleashing shots. They are currently going into Marauders in the distance, it would seem, and Glade Riders. Not bad targets, although I'd like to see them shooting in to some of the kind of units in the middle here, just to add to the carnage. Poison Wind Globadiers are trying to finish off the Skinwolves and protect the Poison Mortars, but I don't think it's going to be enough. We do have some Dryads coming in as well to the back, and it looks like the Organ Gun has seen its last cannon. 122 kills though, really fun stuff by him, done some good work so far. And there's a flustercluck of carnage in the middle, with the Hawkeyes of Drakira right in the middle, not where they want to be whatsoever. We are going to see a pretty juicy burning head come down the line, roasting Clan Rats and friends and foes alike. Always good to see. Grace is going to come in, do some good work to those Spearmen, and yeah, they're going to be broken and running for their lives. Maybe this was the strategy, just keep all these Glade Guard way back, and use them in the later stages of the battle once the key units for the enemies are taken offline. It's tough to see, though. It's tough to see. I mean, Glade Guard and Shadow Warriors doing a good job on this left-hand flank. Balance Power is back even once more. Good use here of the Glade Riders just to clean up all of these Poison Wing Globadier units. There are Clan Rats trying to support, but they're just going to get turned on and slaughtered. And now that that central pocket was opened up, it looked like it was going to hold for quite a while. I really do fear here for the XMT guys, as an assassin does get driven away. Frog Ironbrow is holding the line, and Frog's getting a little bit low, but he is beating up this Glade Lady quite happily. Skinwolves are going to be dancing and jumping, gleefully I would say, onto the Glade Guard here. Poison Wing Globadiers are going to continue to fire in. Try to support where possible. We also have some Poison Wing Globadiers, so maybe there can be a bit of a revival in the left-hand flank of those long-range pressure units. Poison Wing Globadiers do unleash some shots before fleeing. They actually do some massive damage to the Spearmen. Not sure why they're running. There's basically nothing near them at the moment. The cannon is also running as well. So yeah, that central core really did break. The dwarves kind of the only ones left holding the line. But Frog's in some big trouble. Master of Slowness goes down on him, and Frog's like, no, Dragonback Slayers, you do not get involved. I shall deal with this beast myself. And does a pretty decent job there, actually, coming in there and whipping Thoric. Dragonback Slayers have now emerged and should be able to drag down the Norscan leadership. Norskins are in pretty big disarray. Drychus getting healed up by Alariel. There's a lot of ammo left on these Glade Guard, which could be pretty crucial in the later stages of the game. Skinwolves do jump on top of the Shadow Warriors, as well as the Poison Wing Globadiers, looking to drag them down and finish them off. Skinwolves have been used very effectively by the Norscan player. Likewise have these Silver Helms. Glade Riders need to try to countercharge here and try and do some damage, and just as I say, that's just what they do. Lancers load, lads, charge in and slam into the Silver Helms, who take not much damage for that. Not much damage, but hey, it's got to be done. It looks like a few shots are being rained over by the Hawkeyes of Drakir, who is somehow alive, and somehow the Dwarf player gets his cannon back online. That is insane, and one of the allies has fallen. It is Frog. The Dragonback Slayer's doing a decent job there, and that's going to pull the balance power once again back into the middle. This has been a real back and forth game, and I absolutely love it, but the leadership here might be assassinated. Alariel the Raiden gets hit by a net. There's only 11 Hawkeyes of Drakir, but an Arrows Colonel swoops in, and we have an organ gun, which might be able to bring up the death blow. Oh, no, it's just a cannon. I think the organ gun may be finished off, sadly. Cannon shots coming in. Alariel does flee down to 267 HP. One or two more good cannon shots would kill her. Hawkeyes of Drakir give her one or two parting licks, and in fact she gets slaughtered there. Down she goes. So in quick concession, two of the heroes for the Wood Elf Alliance and the Wood Elf High Elf Alliance do actually go down rather quickly. Cannon seems like it may be dispatched here by the Skinwolves. Dragonback Slayers are on approach though to look and support. Master Engineer is still alive. Thoric very healthy. Glade Lady very healthy as well, and that could be a big problem. There's still a lot of Wood Elf ammunition left on the side of CB, but I'm not sure if it's going to be enough. I mean, Shadow Warriors are out of ammunition. There's just a lot of Lords left on the field. Skaven are currently routing. Dwarf Warriors are being back Spearmen. Miners as well, chasing away Shadow Warriors. We do have some Glade Guard right in the corner of the map for some reason. I'm not sure what they're doing there. Maybe just a bit of mismicro leaving those guys behind. Balance power is well and truly in XMT's favour now, as Thoric Ironbrow, as well as the Glade Lady, easily dispatch the Skinwolves. It's kind of cool to see the Glade Lady on foot. You don't get to see her terribly often. Lining up shots, man. Wood Elves are so cool. They're so cool, like looks-wise and thematically. And it looks like she doesn't even care about that Skinwolf punching her in the face. She's instead hunting down Drycha. So it's kind of the epic heroes of legend here. The nice little hero corps, Master Engineers, Thoric and so forth, standing against just the arrows which shall blot out the sun. Thoric's in one or two little dance moves, trying to escape where possible. Dragonback Slayers have taken quite a pounding, unfortunately, from archer pressure at the moment, and the Skinwolves being alive could be a big problem here for XMT. Dwarf Warrior has been escorted off the battlefield. Very close game still. Balance power is in XMT's favour, but it's really going to come down to, can the arrows get on their right targets? If they run out of ammunition, Glade Guard are going to do nothing to someone as mighty as Thoric, of course. Yes, this is indeed the final match, yes. Go Tomb Kings screams awesome. Awesome Rhino. Awesome Rhino, you may be a couple of games behind and not actually up with the live stream, I would think. It does look like Rune of Doom goes down by Thoric Ironbrow, and he's having a whale of a time. A lovely little attack comes down, though, on the Glade Guard by the Master Engineer, as well as those Dryads, helping to dish out the pain on them. And the Hero Corps just sticking tight together. Glade Guard running out of ammo. We have 6 ammunition here, 2 on this unit, 5 on this one, and 6 here. And in the distance, I have no idea why this unit of Glade Guards just vibing in the corner. The Miners are probably going to be able to force back the Shadow Warriors and then this unit of Glade Guard as well. The Shadow Warriors kind of kite about Miners isn't that cost effective for either unit, to be honest. So I guess it just is what it is. Dwarf Warriors are being picked apart. Balance Power is getting very close to armor losses with all this ammunition being expended, and basically no damage going on Thoric Ironbrow. Lovely use of the Rune of Wrath and Ruin goes down on the Shadow Warriors, who are really starting to struggle now up against the Master Engineer. Although the other heroes are kind of pinned in place. Droneback Slayers are involved in combat just because we need to fight here and try to drag down the enemy. Glade Lady is sniping Drycha, trying to finish off the last ruler of the opponent's army. This is the last general who's trying to rally their troops. I don't think Drycha would be that good at rallying troops, particularly if they weren't all trees. Blade Lady is going to help dispatch some of the Shadow Warriors now. Thoric Ironbrow still stands really strong, and there's not much ammunition left whatsoever. Army losses isn't that close, but Balance Power is really quite heavily against the remaining kind of Wood Elf forces over here of Clan CB and the blue team. Thoric Ironbrow, Glade Lady, both very healthy. Likewise, Master Engineer isn't that shabby, to be honest. Together, the Glade Lady and Master Engineer can do a lot of snipe potential onto Drycha, who's been hit by a flash bomb here. This hill is causing some problems, though the Glade Lady does kill a few retreating Glade Guard for their troubles. Dwarf Warriors are engaged with Glade Guard over in the distance. Drycha's really getting pounded down quite badly now. Master Engineer got a couple of shots in, and this Glade Lady's done so much good work today, focus firing down enemy key targets, but now it's going to dive into combat. Mighty Sword has been drawn just to help finish off these Glade Guard and get them away from the Master Engineer. One Dragonback Slayer is like, I'm a hero too, I can fight! But unfortunately, he does go down, but he takes down a Glade Guard with a decapitation with his death blow there. Always good to see. Awesome work, awesome work. So, Glade Lord, or Glade Lady, with the Rune of Doom, plus 24 melee attack. It really is just this hero core against the world, and I think they might do it. Drycha is getting sniped out right now. The Glade Guard are using up the remainder of their ammunition. Dwarf Warriors will be slaughtering them. Miners are on the approach back. Unit of Glade Guard still in the corner. Do have a lot of ammunition, so maybe just wait for them to come over and then put all their ammo into Thoric and Kite. Might be the way back into for this, but I think it's just a forgotten unit. The Glade Guard do push in. We are losing ground, apparently. It is getting close to army losses. Thoric Ironbrow is going to dive onto the Glade Guard. Drycha is going to try to charge in to do some damage, but it's like the worst target for her to hit realistically because of the ridiculous magic resistance. Drycha, wavering, army losses, exhausted, and that is going to be game. So XMT did strike back there at the end of the clan war, getting 3 points from that 3v3. A valiant defeat, a super fun game. I really just do think that Lunacy sitting back with all of his archers may have cost the game. I mean, they did get in there, they used up most of their ammo, so maybe not. But they didn't kind of push as one. And whereas Goblin Slayer, Pagnabon, and Rider Rohan kind of fought together as one, and it favoured them a little bit, but still very close. Could have gone either way there at the end. Franz Eriksson, thank you so much, man. Keep up the good work, quack quack. Thank you, dude. Thank you for the 55 SEK. I believe that's Swedish money. I'm not sure how much that is. But, yeah, I think that's Swedish money. Thank you so much, dude. Honestly, that is really appreciated, bro. And hopefully you had a good time and enjoyed this stream. Nice job hanging in there through all the games without a break, Ducky. Thank you, Dr. Nick there, aka the Mighty Gobbo Slayer. I will be going and gobbling up a load of food after this for sure. But that was a really fun stream. We've still got a little bit left. Going to break down these units, and we will go on a raid if anyone else is streaming at the moment, which might be a bit unlikely. Total War streamers tend to stream but a little bit later in the day. Anyway, we'll update the scoreboard quickly before we delve into this. So, XMT striking back at the death there. Coming in with 5 points, so 5 to 10. Not shabby whatsoever, and you can really see how the team games have such a bigger impact over the 1v1s. For Lord 5 euros. Thank you so much, dude, for the 5 euros, dude. It was honestly really appreciated. Everyone who's donated today, you are the true champs. I'm just here. I'm just a duck, man. You guys are the real heroes of the stream. So, Lord Lever coming in. Alariel had to heal herself up quite a bit there. 650 damage value. Infantry got absolutely hammered. This one unit of White Lines did okay. 645 damage value. Shadow Warriors 1000 damage value. 790. Silver Helms got some pretty big kills. Damage value is not great though. 644, 255. As for Lunacy's forces, I do like this build. It obviously wouldn't work in like single player, but something like this where you have teams to protect you, it certainly can do good work. Drycha 1555 damage value. Waystalkers 1.4 and 669 value. Good work by them. Drycha did a pretty decent job pushing to back line, particularly this unit, with 920 damage value. Now for the Glade Guard. Just shy of 600 damage value, 440, 580, 0, 840, 840, 950, and 1.2k damage value. So half of them performing really well, half of them not performing that great at all. Glade Riders just couldn't get into the back line, just no good value on them apart from this lone one, which nearly paid for itself. As for Hydra, he played some good games early on as well, actually, Hydra Dominatus. 980 damage value on Frog, 1.3k on the Fmir, Bale Fiend of Fire. Marauders kind of suffered. I think that's going to be the tail of the infantry for this team across the board. Skinnles did really good. Hydra had some really good backline pressure. 1.8 damage value, 1.6, 1.8 again, and 126. Yeah, 3 of the Skinnles doing really good work there. 79, 117, and 91 kills across the board. As for the Chad Gobbo Slayer with the Organ Gun, 1,380 damage value. Oh, hell yeah. I love seeing Organ Guns in action when they perform well. 134 kills, 11k damage value. Did some good work. Cannon did some good sniping as well. 800 damage value. Dragonback Slayers, 2,000 value. Really doing quite nicely there indeed. Apart from that, it really was the hero core. He performed nicely. 2.8k damage value on Thoric, and he was basically full health. Master Engineer, 1.7. As for Pugnabon, a lot of his forces kind of got wiped out. It became Rider of Rohan and Gobbo Slayer, trying to live on and respect the memory of Pugnabon. But he did so much damage in the early game, he really set them up quite nicely. So good team play. The Poison Wind Mortars, 1.6 and 956 damage value. Poison Wind Gladiators, 1.2k damage value and 79. Of course, the infantry kind of just all routed and broke. We're not going to go over their damage value because it was pretty pitiful, apart from this unit of Clan Rats who somehow got 400 damage value, which is very good for Clan Rats. Assassins, 720 and 930 damage value, not shabby. Only 500 on the Grey Seer, but he walked, so the Rider of Rohan and Gobbo Slayer could fly. Rider of Rohan coming in with their lovely Glade Lady, did so much work, such a cheap lord as well on foot. 2,607 damage value, really sniping out the enemy characters. Beautiful Wood Elf play there. 248 on the Spell Singer, unfortunately getting taken down. Glade Guard did pretty solid, nothing too crazy. The Hawkeye's Drakira, 1,630 damage value, love to see it. And the Cavalry did a good job protecting the back line. Very close game, could have gone either way that one, but was certainly some awesome stuff. So hell yeah. I think you also missed 2 Skaven Assassins stabbing one of the Waystalkers, hee. Oh damn. Yeah, there's so much to miss in 3v3s and 2v2s and stuff. So, apologies if I missed stuff, but I think they're quite a fun addition as well to move in with the 1v1s. So, well played to XMT, as well as CB and all the guys who played today. Them and you guys watching are the true heroes here. CB, though, will be taking this 10 points to 5. We will see both of them back in the future. We also have 4 teams in this group. We're casting the games of all of them. We've already seen XMT's first team, and eventually we'll have to face each other, which I'm sure is going to be an absolute madness set of games, 100%. So, hope you guys enjoyed this. I will be... Oh, no. There's an error, apparently. Did the stream crash? Oh, the stream seems to be back. Okay, I don't know what happened if the stream crashed at some point. Hopefully it's all good for you guys. I'm going to quickly dart out, see if there's another Total War Warhammer YouTuber streaming. And if so, I will send you over that way. Looks like Dame Offensive is streaming. Really lovely lady. So let's go let her know that she's a cool cat. And go yell quack at her. So I'm going to drop a link down below now in the chat for you guys. And then let's go over there, say quack. The way we raid is we just yell quack a load and demand bread. So feel free to pop over here and demand bread of Dame Offensive. Thank you guys for tuning in. It's been a really good fun run. And until next time, guys, peace. And as always, stay awesome.